Hello, everybody, and welcome back.
I am dubious.
I don't know what that means.
I'm dubious. I don't know either.
We could just tell Bison about the statue ourselves.
This is a strange request, I know. Do you have a spare key? Anyway, Corliss has got this group of 5 flea bags he's thinking of bringing in. And since you went to get into the prison so bad, I thought you could pay him a visit, see if they might let you tag along.
I'm gonna make it look like just like a ball of thorns that's here and just like floating, and then I'm gonna push it away.
How did you do that?
Oh no, you've
you
activated him.
And you probably shouldn't do that out in the open like this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tabletop Notch. We missed you dearly last week. We're sorry to take a week off. But already the hype is growing for this episode. We were figuring out our plan on the way in. Hopefully some of you were around for our little technical glitch there earlier on. That was entirely my fault. So a little peek behind the curtain, and occasionally live shows you get that little extra special dash of
The jank.
yes, exactly. We're thrilled to be back. We've got a great episode. We've finally gotten back into town. We have some plans to enact and also some character to introduce, which is, I believe, the rolling videos already come out.
The rolling videos have been out.
We've been hard at work.
Your guesses have been tallied.
But before we dive into, as always, the meat of the campaign, we have a few bits of business to take care of. So where shall we fly off?
Let's hear it, Anthony.
Sunday night, twitch.com. That's not even the name of the website, but thank you for being here. We love
Does it redirect to Twitch TV?
I hope so. This is the live show. You've joined us. We love that. Thank you. You helped us last year reach a plus.
Last month.
Last month, the plus program was achieved and received. That means that we can do it again. I know that we can do it again next month.
I know.
Thank you for everyone who subbed and bidded and did everything to get us there. In between Sundays, you can watch and listen to the show other ways. There's a podcast that goes live on Tuesdays from whatever podcast store you love. The YouTube video goes live on Tuesdays only if you support us through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Otherwise, it goes live for everybody on Fridays. And we love reading all your comments in between Sundays. We read them all, and we love them, and we love you. Thank you so much. But there's other places in between Sundays to hang out with us, like...
On social media. Come hang with us in the comments. You can follow Tabletop Notch on any and all social media. Even the ones you think we wouldn't be on, we're probably on. So shoot Tabletop Notch a follow and give us a kiss in the comments. Leave a little kiss emoji.
I made a Kara account today.
A Kara?
Kara, yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
Artists are starting to do it now in lieu of like using Instagram. So
Meta is taking everything for AI.
Like a Kara Orange?
C-A-R-A. Like
what I
Caravan.
Kara Orange?
A Kara. It's a
Kara Orange.
What?
Oh, cool.
Okay.
They make a delightful orange margarita with a Kara.
Orange margaritas.
All the normal people out there will know.
Perhaps this summer you'd like to drink on a rooftop, and while you're drinking on a rooftop, you'd like to wear some TTN merch, like what Matt has on his body, or perhaps you'd like a little Samson and Samson toad, or some mugs to drink your margarita out of on your rooftop.
Put my belt in here.
Perhaps you'd like to take your belt off while you're sitting on the roof. Do that. We've got merch. Check it out. It's real good. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Speaking of other things you're gonna love.
Well, let's just take a step back and talk about the happiest place on Earth.
Okay.
And it's not Disneyland. It's actually tabletop.
It's twitch.com.
Discord.gg/tabletopnotch.
Guys, we're out of practice.
I know. Some actually really important things happened this week. So if you're in the Discord or you're not, you should join. In the announcements, you can find all of the new art for the badges that are coming to Discord. You can vote for them and see what you want to get added. Poco Doko, Olive Branch, and Steven. If you check out the Brunkhollow fan art. There was some amazing stuff created recently that you really must see and hear. Just join and talk about stuff tonight because there's gonna be a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there's nothing going on tonight. Now I'm biffing it.
Patreon.
Oh, no. Shut your mouth. We do have a scheduled off weekend. We're gonna take a little break. June 23rd, there will be no stream, so there's just gonna be a week-long gap of no content, but then we're gonna be right back into it the following week. So just one show that we're gonna miss. I think it's right after like another Notch and Soda cycle. So just a little break there for us. Yes. And also, we released a new Patreon PDF. So let's go.
New month. The new month means new goodies on Patreon. We tried something out a little funky, a little different this month. We're calling it. If you put your monitors on, up here I can bring it up on the thing as well. There it is. It's called Coup de Grace Chronicles. And the idea behind it is it's to a way to kind of look back at some of your defining killing moments throughout the game. So in addition to, it's not meant to replace the sort of, for those of you who know Critical Role, the how do you want to do this, or in our stream, the show us how it's done, sort of describing the killing blow in combat. However, the idea is that one of 3 historians is chronicling your great achievements. And in doing so, it's a bit of a Mad Lib that then after you fill it out, you get to hand it to the person who dealt the killing blow, and they keep that as a memento of that sort of moment in the campaign. So we're actually going to have Anthony fill one out here.
Yes.
As an example.
Wait, say the things. I don't know right now.
First of all, you get to pick from 3 wonderful historians to chronicle your story.
Okay.
The first of the 3 historians is named Pompus Magnus, and he's an older human man, sort of very, very verbose and pretentious, regarded as such by his academic peers. Then we have Mickey Orc, who's very blunt and brusque, sort of vulgar but straightforward. And then E.L. Flames, who I had to point out was a parody of E.L. James, the author of 50 Shades of Grey, is a sort of salacious tiefling filled with innuendo.
Okay.
So first pick which is the story.
Mickey.
Mickey
or.
And then let's pick a damage type. Do you want to do like TC's damage type? Pierce? Yes. All right.
So Pierce.
Give me a fantasy race. Any of the fantasy races.
Erakorkra.
Oh, nice.
Goodness. Hot topic.
Now give me an adjective with a negative connotation.
Sloppy.
Okay.
Wait, that could be really good though, but sloppy.
That's fun. It's a fun one.
Mostly negative connotation.
Okay.
Okay, give me a noun that's typically used as an insult.
Chowderhead.
Nice.
Real PC for once.
Well,
Give me a body part.
Oh god.
Creamy thighs.
There's no adjective. Damn it.
All right.
Jesus.
What about the placement of the thighs? All right. Thighs.
All right.
Left thigh.
Left.
Left.
This is brilliant.
No. Left thigh.
Like left nostril.
All right, give me a creature or animal. It doesn't have to be a fantasy one, but it can be. Any creature or animal.
The lizards that can run really fast so that they walk on water a little.
The
dragon beards?
like the fasties? Wait,
Sure. They have a name.
Oh wait, I was talking about the real.
Maybe pick an animal that you know the name for this Mad Libs exercise.
Aardvark.
Cute.
Ooh, nice. What's an aardvark?
Aaron A.
They're
Aronson.
the anteaters.
Oh, they're sweet.
Okay, now always included in the Mad Lib somewhere is both the name of the character who dealt the killing blow and the creature they killed. So let's say it was this campaign, so we'll have TC obviously be
You could have killed anything. This is huge.
I mean,
and what creature that we've met in the campaign?
that were-bear goblin.
The were-goblin.
The were-goblin.
Ooh,
Werebat.
we're back.
Because I did kill him.
So after filling it out, you get to read it, and then you would get to keep this afterward as a memento of your occasion. So I'll read it for you. it's piercing damage, so they're all like specific to the type of damage, which allows you to specialize into your particular character.
I see that.
Yes. These are some good holes they made. Even a shit-for-brains Aarakocra knows that holes are a great way to get your enemy's insides outside. That's it, go on and bleed, you sloppy chowderhead. My personal favorite is running them through with a spear from arsehole to left thigh. But this'll do just fine. It's not that
I
far.
imagine how that goes through.
These holes here are deeper than an aardvark in the Underdark. Ooh, that was a good one.
Internal rhyme.
And for that, they have my respect. TC that skewered the werebat without mercy, we drink to your brutal triumph. So that would be, and then you would get to keep that. And over the course of the campaign, you could collect several of them and then look back.
Cute.
So thank you for our little deviation.
That was
Thank you.
awesome.
Mickey.
Wow, Mickey.
Yeah, and you can choose the same historian, or you can mix it up.
all night? That's so fun.
Thank you for indulging us for our Patreon. Anything else before we move on? Check it out. Thank you to all our existing patrons. We hope you enjoy. There's 2 parts to this as well. I don't know if I mentioned that. So
No, you
half
did.
of the damage types were in this one, and then we'll do the half of the other damage.
Oh, how fun.
Last week was Ray-Ban's birthday, and I said I would shout him out after we had to
Happy
cancel our episode.
birthday,
And then
Ray-Ban.
Baron and Sammy did a 10-stream streak, and I promised that I would shout that out as well. Post-its.
Yes.
Okay, and back on to things that happened today. Ozone Overload subscribed, Naira, Kim resubscribed, Lord Last resubscribed, Jimmy Burrow resubscribed, Hype Train, Wolves resubscribed, Hype Train 2-1, 22's resubscribed, Mr. Richard Clock resubscribed, Greg Orb resubscribed, Reese resubscribed, Jay Brownie 1,000 bits, Hype Train 2, Helmer resubscribed, Bearsy Poo 5 community subs, Hype Train 3, Golden Dagger 510 bits, Doggard resubscribed, Mr. Jingleheimer 1,000 bits, Miss Reese gave out 5 community subs, Hype Train level 4, Doofenfirst Booty Cheeks with 5 community subs, Finny Can resubscribed, Olive Branch resubscribed, Jingleheimer 1,000 bits, Hype Train level 5, Roland T, thank you guys, Roland KT resubscribed, Cool Shaver 500 bits, and then resubscribed, Cave Enclave 200 bits, Low Brass Guy gave out 10 community subs, thank you so much. Hype Train level 6, holy shoot, guys. Master Dark resubscribed, Terra Faye resubscribed, Master Dark 100 bits, Kill Patty resubscribed, Toasted Valkyra resubscribed, Cave Enclave 7 stream streak, Jim resubscribed, 10 stream streak from Incredier, FNF resubscribed, Big Sean resubscribed, Ellery said the Elf resubscribed, Hopeful Optimus resubscribed, resubscribed, War Druid subscribed, Alligator resubscribed, and Chad Arnold resubscribed. Thank you all.
Thank you. Wow, what a
Cheers to
run.
that.
Oh, so tasty. Twain. Mike Twain.
Thank you all so much. Incredible. We're so happy to have everybody back and to be hanging out and continuing the campaign.
Armor Crocodile, thank you.
Thank you so much. I believe that's it, and we have a lot to accomplish tonight, so I think it's time for us to do the thing.
Okay.
Once again, we're a little out of practice, and I forgot to copy the recap video.
Let's
It's gonna
go.
take just
Thank
a couple
you
seconds.
to all who did more things. I think we're at a Hype Train .7457. Whenever you're ready.
Mike Twain.
Yes, here we go. Well done, well done. Okay, we're gonna do the usual thing. We're gonna throw it over to the recap and then the intro, and then we'll dive in to the long-awaited chapter 34, Brunkhollow. So without further ado, let's go ahead and throw it over. See you on the other side.
I beat D&D.
Oh! Previously, on Chapter 33, in rapid succession, the group was refining their plot to obtain the third vault key when they happened upon a smattering of boats abandoned by the river. Half-eaten chunks of rock pointed to the possibility of a Zorn ambush, and when TC climbed a tree to avoid a fight, he found he wasn't alone in his thinking. Mildred Grissom, who belonged to a group of independent miners, had been separated from her co-workers when the elementals attacked, but now with safety in numbers, they utilized a trader's flax distraction to hop in the kayaks and paddle downstream. Dodging chunks of earth and stone, they took the rapids all the way to the eastern end of the valley, where the increased presence of clinkers complicated their progress, especially when they came across the hanging corpse of Court from the Thieves Guild, whose meddling it seemed had finally crossed the wrong person. Upon their return, Canace convinced Peter he'd be better off in Peron as a member of the Gore Onan, and besides payment, is there anything else to be gained from speaking face-to-face with Fort Contrition's worst offenders? Stick around and find out. Chapter 34, Brunkhollow. Here, Zorny, Zorny. Oh. Welcome back, everybody. Before we go on, we do have a little bit of inspiration. Last episode. One of them, I would be remiss to not give inspiration for basically having achieved the primary goal of a very, very long journey. It's all homecoming together. Get Nani Mitchell back to Brunkhollow alive. The long journey come around. And the second one I have to give out is called Hardcore Zorn. Deal enough damage to one of the Zorn that it abandoned its pursuit of the party along the background.
Amazing.
Hardcore.
Mildred gets half credit for that, for helping.
Help action, baby.
Sorry, Mildred's not here anymore. So, yes.
She's busy with her wife.
Her taste will linger, though.
My wife don't mind.
Oh, the lights of Brunkhollow, and what they mean for you to see. Whether coming up from the south along the Shining Creek or in from Detention Pass, the breeze that blows against the torches ensconced, causing the flames like fingers to beckon you back from the wilds, are all around you. The most robust glow is sourced from the main thoroughfare just outside of Paramount Lodgings. The tradition of the evening bonfire back to its normal course after a hiatus on account of the storm. After a day so packed with goblin interactions, a population of much larger silhouettes is like an open-armed welcome, perfect for disappearing into the crowd and allowing anonymity to be your armor for the first time in nearly 12 hours, that you feel like you can shed this veil of vigilance, not having to turn around and watch your back at every step, every corner. You advance and you don't feel like you have to monitor every footfall. Occasionally you'll see a roadside cow pie, and that will be the most of your worries, stepping into something that sticks against the side of your boot. But it's good to have that be the biggest worry as you sort of approach the outskirts of Brunkhollow. Hearing from a distance the laughter and the yelling and the singing and the swearing, it's hard not to smile. Though not all smiles are made the same. Some are born of relief, some of determination, some of incredulity, some of grief. But whatever it is, there's an undercurrent of getting the wheels moving again after the oxen have stopped. Because there's still business to take care of tonight that simply cannot wait. Much as a comfy interior cot might tempt you otherwise. Following the west bank of the Shiner is perfect for Ace and Nani's first item on their agenda. A visit to the Merc Hall, which is quickly coming up on your left and avoids the hassle of having to dart across the bridge without being maybe flagged down by any familiar faces around EOD, which you're desperately trying to avoid at this juncture. You can see Maeve's place as well, but only just. It's across the river, and there's no lamps lit inside, and the crowds are drawn, as normal, a little further north to the establishments where whiskey flows more freely, the chop house and the music box, so Maeve's place pretty quiet and abandoned at this point. Take a few more steps along, and let me bring this up for 1 second. Basically, you guys are coming up, You guys are coming up from down here. This is the same kind of route that, I don't know if we talked about this. This is where Kate and her mom kind of wandered down the edge of the river here when they were talking right before they left. So you're coming up from right where this D is, around the sort of bank of the Merc Hall. As you're getting a little bit closer, Nani throws sort of hood of her cloak up, lets it drape kind of over her forehead, and she has like a bandana that she pulls up, and it doesn't go all the way over her mouth, but just to have as little of her face kind of showing as possible, even in the dark here. Make sure that she isn't recognized by someone she doesn't want to be at this particular time. Shouldn't be much activity at the Merc Hall at this hour, but I'll stay shrouded all the same.
You want to wait outside, or?
I'll go in with you.
All right.
Last thing we need is somebody running to tell Bison that they saw me moving about the thoroughfare, but
Yeah.
just as likely to get recognized outside than in, so I'll step inside.
That's fair.
And then I guess we find a spot by the creek with a view of EOD.
Just wait till he comes out?
The others manage to pry Bison loose from his office. We take that cue to cross over.
All right.
Nah, I didn't necessarily want to bring up this possibility in the presence of the others. But what if Bison never leaves?
I mean, we could just say fuck him. Bison would probably protect us from the Clinkers. We could tell him about that guy that took our names. But that doesn't necessarily feel right. They did do a lot for us. Maybe see if we can get Peter away, but I don't know. I think it depends how locked down it all is. We could just tell Bison about the statue ourselves. That might be something.
I'm thinking, if they can't get Bison to go, I go in. And you get your stuff. And you make your way out to the Karsfields.
Girl. If they can't get Bison to leave, then we don't even go to EOD. We just run. There's no fucking point.
Not gonna have enough stuff to get out there.
I don't know, breaking a Maves? God. It's not gonna come to that, is what it is. Okay?
Give me a persuasion check.
No.
23.
23. She seems very kind of just reassured by your confidence. You could see that when she broached that question, it was like slowly sort of dawning on her that possibility and sort of where you might kind of go from there. Nobody had really talked about what would happen if that was the case, but your confidence bolsters her, and she sort of...
Hey. One step at a time, all right?
Daphne first.
Daphne first.
Let's go.
Okay.
Two of you start to walk, turn the corner there, head toward the Merc Hall. We're going to pivot over briefly for a moment. Without Ace and Nani and your colorful new prospecting acquaintances, it's down to just the three of you as you approach the eastern end of town. There's that little rising trail off to your right that leads up to the Stubborn Bluffs, and even though you won't be paying it a visit right now, you think about how that well up there was how this whole ordeal began. Images of Ace and Kate staring down at you from above as you struggled to fathom what you had discovered down there. You look a little further forward and you can see the main stretch of the thoroughfare, the bonfire blazing no more than, 100, 150 feet ahead of you. It's radiating heat, causing a dual sensation where, your front side is warming up, but your back side stays cool as it faces away from the fire. Among the several flat stones and temporary benches are some people that you know, though with most facing in toward the fire or with their attention on the bottle that they're swigging from, it wouldn't take much to pass through unseen if you wanted to. So you're very much here at the eastern end of town. You can see the big bonfire, a number of people sitting around. You can talk quietly without anyone hearing you here, but...
I'm going to take a quick try to clock of particularly if Josie is out here.
Give me a perception check.
Just diving right into it.
I mean, avoidance. Perception. 23.
I see her. Oh, she's gone. I go the other. What was it? Sorry.
23.
23. She is not present here at the bonfire. With that roll, I will say some faces that you do recognize. A couple of the guys that work at Narvo CNC are there. Sort of smaller halfling man and the heftier human man. Have you gotten their names? I know Doxley has, but anyway,
Maybe
you know that they
mentioned
work
it
at
in
Narvo
passing,
CNC.
yeah.
The two of her guys.
Yeah.
You see Skits there swigging from the bottle.
I don't even know how close that he and Morna were. That's not something we ever really. Yeah.
Someone was present at the dining hall of Paramount. Morna went over to talk to those guys, but she heard his name. I don't know who was
think that
with
was me,
Morna.
but I
Just
didn't.
Doxley.
And you were there at the music box when she went over to Skits.
Oh yeah, got
He
him
was at
some
the
bread.
He was
Oh,
gave him
okay.
bread.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you've seen at
So
least
I've seen.
friendly passing interactions.
Yeah.
Another person that you see around the fire is Lamont Warren, the other hotelier, other than Mr. Clemens, is sort of sitting out there. He looks little bit in the bottle as well, not sort of fall down drunk, but having an evening. So no Josie, but some faces you recognize.
Looking to see if I could spot Josie. I thought maybe not a conversation for tonight, maybe for tomorrow.
I think so.
You've been awfully quiet, TC, throughout all of this. What are you thinking?
About what?
About what we're about to do.
I am dubious.
I don't know what that means.
I'm dubious. I don't know either. Means that I'm doubtful.
Tell me what you think that means.
Yeah, you tell me what it means. It means I am doubtful. Do you know what that word means?
I do.
Full of doubts. They're piling up inside of me.
Right.
About Bison and his willingness to fell his king on this chessboard.
Well, begins with one move at a time.
I suppose.
It'll work out. We got a lot of sway with him. It'll work out.
We have a piece of goblin scratch, and we have the word of us three.
Yeah. But it's some powerful words, what we know.
I suppose the gravitas of the loss of one of our number will lend its weight to what we have to say.
You're saying this like you're thinking of going back on what we've already talked about, if there was another option.
No, I can't say I have a better idea. Although, when's the last time Brunkhollow had a good old-fashioned assassination?
I mean, I'm all behind that, but like we said...
Wow. All right, then.
Like we said... The loss of Bison, the void that Bison would make, could be catastrophic for this town, whether it's someone getting too powerful or whoever, I don't know.
I also just want to be clear that I'm not in any way attempting to take Bison's power away from him in this conversation. I think if it's framed so that it sounds like we're giving him the opportunity to take control of the situation, rather than we take control of it, gives him his status back, and maybe he'll throw a little bit of coin our way too.
And it'll give him a chance to spread himself too thin. And whatever other pressures are going on will come down even harder. Ones we don't even know about. We barely understand what the hell's going on with Ramo. Do we?
Barely.
Am I to understand that you wish to deliver this key to him on a silver platter? Is this why we want this key?
Mm-hmm. In return for something.
All right! Yeehaw! I say to that.
It's about, as Doxley put it better, keeping our options open and using it as a bargaining chip in multiple ways.
Doubt is healthy in small doses, TC. But you're with the Tyruns now. Things usually work out for us.
Stay strong, partner.
I'll take my small steps with you. Yes.
As you continue to walk forward a little bit, just snippets of conversations that you pick up on from people sort of talking around the fire in the thoroughfare. Your ears, you feel like they'd perk if you ever heard sort of people talking about goblins or raiders. And while you know word travels fast in a small town, that word does have to be set in motion to begin with. And it's interesting to note how something as significant as the goblin leader's demise, which has been a topic that has consumed a lot of people's thoughts, especially Daphne and some of the other independent people that have been harassed by them, this can occur just a couple hours outside of town. Like, that's not that far, and yet it takes far longer than that to become widely known because of how uncharted the Downwield remains. So you have this knowledge that everybody's walking around you. This should be something that everyone's talking about, and yet it hasn't reached word. Yeah, word has not reached it yet. So you keep expecting to hear people talking about it, and it never happens. You never pick up on that. So where are you guys headed? Or please? Yeah.
As we're passing by, just as I get eye shot down the way, do I see any light coming from Maves or wisps of smoke or anything like that?
No light. Give me a perception check if you can kind of see beyond that. It does not seem like there's any lights on the interior of the place.
Yeah, that's great. 7.
Yeah, not glancing down the thoroughfare. You might have to get closer, but definitely no light. That would be easy to see, and the lights are out as far as you can tell.
Okay.
As you're walking a little further forward, and I don't know where you guys are headed first, but you do, as you're passing by the bonfire, that's right outside of Paramount Lodgings, of course. And as you pass by there, you can see that, as he sometimes does in the evening, Mr. Clemens is sweeping the front porch. And you're still a little ways away, you're on the opposite side of the bonfire, but he does sort of catch sight of you and sort of tip his cap. And in addition to that, he sort of holds up his hand and...
Does that mean he has letters for us?
Yes, he's got correspondence for us.
He continues to sweep. He doesn't seem to impress that like he has to deliver them right now, but he motions to you.
I would kind of like to investigate that. I don't know.
You have something more pressing than what's about to happen?
No.
If you want to take 2 seconds and go and get it.
All right. Hold this, and I'm gonna throw
Your wig?
No.
my wig.
It looks like you took off a wig. Wow. Wow.
Oh, it was just a cool way of taking off a hat.
Was it a lace front?
I will catch Morna's hat from you.
You go to take off your hat and your toupee comes off and people realize for the first time.
Gotcha! Good joke, right?
Go.
Hold this.
Heading over to the Paramount. As you've seen Paramount at its busiest and at its quietest, and its current state is closer to the latter than the former in terms of occupancy. There's quite a few suitcases piled up near the staircase, and judging by the different styles and colors, perhaps not all belonging to the same person. It's hard to tell whether the luggage is either coming in or going out, but it seems the hotel is either about to be sort of very full or very empty.
I don't recognize it as I saw Gujek's luggage before.
It does, yes, and it does not look like that.
Okay.
Those blueprints that you saw once before are spread across the front desk, plans for maybe expanding the hotel, very much at the forefront of Mr. Clemens' mind. But there's also on his desk a leather-bound book, open but flipped upside down. Not his usual ledgers of expenses and accounts of occupancy, but it looks like it's an actual novel or written volume. It's quite thick. This period of inactivity in the lobby giving him a rare chance to maybe catch up on some reading while people don't need him. But as you approach, he finishes up sweeping, he goes over to those little slots that he has where the mail and things are. Good evening and welcome back, Mr. Welker.
Evening, thank you.
Ms. Tyrun, no other business?
Yeah, we're all very tired and hungry. I just want to very quickly drop in.
Yes, if you would tell her I have something for her.
Certainly will.
And for you, let's see, and he sort of goes through here. Yes, I have correspondence for Mr. Welker. Mr. Welker, yours came in shortly after you left this morning. And then...
It was only today.
And then again later in the afternoon. Twice by. And I have them like this, but they're closed. He can't read them.
Same letter carrier?
It was a courier. I believe it was not on behalf of the person delivering the letter.
Right.
Both for you.
Thank you. We'll be back soon.
Of course.
And I'm kind of already.
There was
go.
also a man who came by requesting an audience. Though, as he did before, he refused to allow me to take a message. I believe Miss Ishtik spoke with him yesterday. Elven features, clean-shaven, sitting in over one of the booths. He said he may come again at a later time. If he comes by, shall I tell him you are otherwise engaged?
Yes, I'm sure I'll find some time for him, but not tonight, I imagine.
Very well.
Thank you.
Of course. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, baby.
Yes, the guy from the...
Oh, yes. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yep. He was the one that postponed it last time.
Yes, he was sent with a letter indicating that it was postponed.
Okay. TC's kind of
Read your notes.
shuffling out the door.
Read your notes.
Read them.
Out loud.
Oh, God.
I knew it was gonna be bad.
What do they say?
Oh, God. Okay. TC looks real, he's like fixing glasses that aren't there. Pulls it together by the time he gets down to the bottom of the steps there.
Does he?
And, Okay.
Oh, no.
You had a moment, just the two of you, if there was anything. Otherwise, we can have TC return to your company. It was just a moment that he popped in.
What do you think, giving Peter a red or a yellow?
Red, probably. No, yellow.
You want to give him a yellow? All right.
Yeah.
I got one, I think.
Yeah, that would be better for if we can point him to Pike. Give him a yellow one. She was always partial to Pike. Yellow, so you know.
All right. Fine with me.
TC comes back out.
he's got letters for all of us. I didn't want to get into about Morty yet. Let's just get this over with.
All right.
Okay.
We
No more
heading?
errands?
No.
All right, I'm ready.
Where are you headed?
EOD.
We all just stand there in the street like, let's go.
And
You all go
Now.
in different directions.
Here we go.
To Bison.
Yes.
All right.
The Bison.
My favorite.
Direction of EOD. The tables on the upper balcony are always a little quieter than the main floor below. Better for private conversation when you aren't constantly interrupted by clinking mugs, sizzling strips of bacon, drunken parodies of old army songs swirling around you. Today, though, it's not just the balcony. The whole place has a kind of lethargy to it, ever since the strange series of events that led to one death, one disappearance, and several heated debates over the state of things. In a place more established, like Vancor, the response would have been swift and possibly violent. But here, in a budding state in Brunkhollow, one has to be careful not to overplay their hand. Perhaps thinking diplomatically about how the situation can be used to your advantage, rather than make a slapdash show of force as a way of just puffing up your chest to show others you aren't to be trifled with. You weren't present for Court's tossing of the Joker, but Bernine was. Observing from above until the timer ran down and she was clear to knock an arrow and bring the room back to order. You're sitting with her now because she's brought in a fellow contact under cover of darkness. An elven man with a thin pointed beard, no mustache, who talks with a little bit of a side of his face kind of scrunched due to a prior injury as kind of a scar down the side of his cheek. And he wears a very flowing brown cloak, intentionally to obscure, to all but the most of discerning eyes, the green and gray uniform underneath. The two of them, Bernine and this man, each at least 20 years your senior, look to you with the kind of put-upon sternness of a parent scolding their child for staying out past curfew, For though this isn't a disciplinary discussion, it's obvious that they have their own reservations about what you are seeking to accomplish. Would you like to describe Annabelle's look to our audience?
Annabelle Malay is a tiny half-elf woman. Long blonde hair she often wears in pigtails. Longbow draped across her front with a bunch of little papers on it, looking maybe a little bit like a Girl Scout badge. She's got a pink dress on, and she has big, innocent-looking eyes. But you really shouldn't trust that.
Great.
As you sit across from these other two people that you know, the elven man leans forward, and his body language would imply a kind of sort of hush-hush quiet conversation, but he actually speaks at kind of a loud volume. Just kind of a loud talker. He's just one of those people. He's not doing it on purpose. He's not trying to be loud, but he just does that. And he's recounting something that he's learned that he was the one who sort of called this meeting, both with you and Bernine. He asked that you sort of meet him here at the butcher shop. And he wanted to talk to you about something, and finally that you all kind of grab a drink, a little something to eat. You find this little space on that upper balcony away from most people. Not that you don't trust the people in here, but just a little space of its own here. He leans in a little conspiratorially. So I don't know if you've heard, there's a bit of unruliness at the prison yesterday. A group tried to chicken up out of the Eagle Ward through a sewage pipe that's normally laced with tanglefoot as a deterrent. They was quite clever about it, actually, but they didn't make it the whole way. Guards chased them down, started beating them good. And tensions was already high at the Eagle. One block broke formation to retaliate, and things spiraled from there. Nearly had a full-on riot on our hands. Warden left his office to see to it personally, and anybody who knows me knows that I'm an opportunist. Among a few other things, I saw some scribbles on his desk about picking up a red team. You know what that is?
I'll let you tell me, Merwin.
He's gonna bring in a bunch of outsiders as fucking spies. He knows he's got a loyalty problem among his men, and he's looking to sniff them out. And at this, Bernine kind of leans forward. You could have been killed on the spot if you were seen. Yeah, I could have been killed doing a lot of the things I've done. But I'm still standing. I'm reasonably wealthy, and I fuck regular as clockwork.
Oh, ow!
Fortune favors the fold, Bernine. You should know that as well as anyone. Anyway, Corliss has got this group of 5 flea bags he's thinking of bringing in. And since you went to get into the prison so bad, I thought you could pay him a visit, see if they might let you tag along.
Yeah, maybe they got room for 6.
As it happens, it's mostly the same batch that came in here last night made everything go
They're
sideways.
fucking joking.
So, I know what you're thinking, which is, why would they agree to it? Well, I did some digging, and we might have something you could use as leverage. First, 2 of the people under consideration are Tyruns. And where I come from in Perron, that's a name known down by the docks. Fort Contrition houses a couple Tyruns and Tyrun associates, who I've heard are trying to get a face-to-face with someone in the family, but their visitation privileges are severely limited. Someone like me might be able to make that happen once everyone's on the inside. Whoa!
Have I heard of the Tyruns before?
You have, yes, in passing. Yep. As someone who dabbles in and around Thieves Guild, that's a name. Even as someone who's not a Perron native, that name has come up before. So
We got royalty here in Brunkhollow. That's interesting.
Till they end up in the prison themselves, I guess. So, the second person is this guy called TC. He's got guild roots in Perron. And right about now, probably knows how badly he fucked up, being associated with a killing on neutral ground.
I would fucking hope so.
Now, if he doesn't want to tiptoe around Brunkhollow like a pariah looking over his shoulder all the time, he might consider helping you out.
Yeah. All right. That's an angle. I like that better than, getting an old bed.
Getting arrested's an option too, but not a good one.
Yeah.
The last 2 people, this girl Kate and another one called Morna, I don't know anything about. You'll have to feel them out yourself, see if you have anything to offer them.
Morna.
Yeah, that's right. You know the name?
Ishti?
It might have been.
Fuck, I thought she was arrested.
Not to my knowledge.
I might have it in with her, yeah.
All right. Well, First things first, you're gonna have to talk to them and find out if they're amenable.
All right.
And at this, Bernine kind of butts in once more.
This is all very generous, Merwin, for someone that you've barely met.
Oh, Bernine, you know me too well. Look, the Red Team's purpose is first and foremost to sniff out corruption. If they submit some kind of report or something, I want to be sure that my name's not on it. Now, if this all works out, I think maybe Miss Annabel here could give them a nudge in the right direction.
I would absolutely keep you clear off any lists. You can count on me.
They're staying at the Paramount, so you might want to start there.
Ooh la la.
First light tomorrow, I'll swing by here before I head back to Little Hollow. We can talk a little more about particulars.
You got any idea when they're trying to get the Red Team in?
Yeah, Red Team's supposed to come in tomorrow if they agree to it.
All right, I better move fast then.
Hopefully they'll be able to get you in. Otherwise, we'll have to go to Plan B.
Getting arrested?
Yeah, that's like Plan D. Plan B I haven't come up with yet.
All right. Well, Merwin, you really are just as charming as everybody told me you'd be.
You lie good. Good night, Bernine. Gets up. And Bernine there, she's been kind of listening, and she is mildly amused by his antics, but she sort of waits for him to kind of get up and leave there.
What, you don't trust him?
Sounds like a pretty good plan.
Sounds like a great fucking plan to me. Go right in, like, with the prison warden being all like, hell yeah, you're supposed to be here?
As good a plan as can be that involves locking yourself up at the fort,
Oh, or might not be locked up, right?
I suppose.
It's important. It's real important.
You're sure you really want this?
Fucking positive. More than anything I wanted in my whole life.
The way you speak, sometimes I can't tell if you're making fun of me.
I'm not. I promise. I swear.
Is this something that Hawk asked you to do?
In a way. Well, yes. In a way.
Hawk
It's-
has something planned, does he?
He does. And I am part of that, and this is perhaps my way of accomplishing that. Sort of a shortcut to getting Hawk what he wants. It's a good plan.
I ask because I would appreciate a heads up if things are about to be bad between Brunkhollow and the prison.
Sure. Well, I'll try not to be involved in making it bad.
You should be very careful on this. Keep your wits about you. Don't tell anyone anything unless you have to get what you need.
It's kind of how I roll in general, Bernie. I know I look young, but I've been everywhere, and I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Hawk speaks very highly of you.
That's nice of him. It's my first friend, really, so.
Hawk was your first friend?
Yeah, I guess. Like real friend, you know?
Sure. These flea bags, they've got their fingerprints all over Brunkhollow in the past few days.
Damn it!
This thing with courts, they were up at Bison's dig site before the statue was brought to town. And now they're being recruited by the prison. I don't know what they're here for, but just look out for yourself.
I got the Degorium on and this TC file, and then how the fuck did Morna get involved with that? But
I don't know who that is,
well, yeah, I knew her from Redbriar.
but that's not who you're looking for.
Well, she might help me. Yeah, I mean, no, she's not exactly what I was looking for, but she's involved, if you know what I mean.
I don't.
I thought the guy I'm looking for, I think they's lovers, and I thought that they'd be together. Assume she got arrested with him, but if she's still here, then maybe she's got a good reason to let me in so I can help her get him out.
You know, you're entitled to keep to yourself whatever you want. But Merwin and I might be able to assist you better if you told us exactly who it is you're looking for.
I know he's been arrested for some, capital M words situation, and so I don't want to get you in trouble. You've been real nice to me this whole time I've been in Brunkhollow, and I don't want to get you involved in anything that's maybe a little dicey.
Did Hawk tell you not to say anything?
Well, because this guy's a plan of my own making, so I'm just nervous. That's all. He told me not to say anything about the big plan, but fine, I'll fucking tell you, Bernie. His name is Haskell Pips, okay?
I don't know the name,
Well,
but I can look into it.
if you could, I'd appreciate it. It's gonna be fucking hard to break out, I think.
Well, if anyone can help you, Merwin can. But
Should I tell him who I'm looking for?
I would make sure you have a plan for perhaps getting him out before you tell him.
Fuck, alright.
Merwin buys and sells in information. If you have something to offer him, he's very helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, Hawk told me he'd have be a price to pay with Merwin, so that's fine, but okay, I'll think about it. If you got any info you can tell me without it going through Merwin, that'd be helpful.
I'll see what I can find. We look out for each other here.
I appreciate that. Like I said, you've been grand showing me around. And I'll do whatever you guys need in the meantime. But I came here to get Haskell.
I understand. She looks like she's kind of about to follow up. You should go to the Paramount.
Alright. She's gonna push her chair out. I don't like to get involved in politics, but if you need me on whatever side of this butcher shop situation, you let a girl know.
I'll let you know when I decide who I think should come out on top. Which I don't know yet.
Alright. Well, I'm Team Bernine, so I'll see you later.
Good night.
She kind of gets up there. As you kind of get up, you're walking across the balcony. There are a couple people at another table just kind of nod to you, Bernine, as you kind of go by there. You get to the top of the stairs.
Except for a
Heading
little
out.
hat, yeah. And head out to the Paramount.
Heading in the direction of the Paramount. We're going to swing over.
They were lovers before he fucked up. Wow. I don't know. That feels that feels hot.
I wanted to be true, therefore it
They
is.
fucked, and then he fucked up, and then she got real mad, big mad.
Oh, I have so many.
think-
We'll talk about it.
You think you can trust Annabel? Sure.
Love that.
Oh man.
The last time you were here, there was a very pervasive aura of cross-sickness that has now been lifted somewhat from the Merc Hall. You can tell they're not making cleaning up a priority, at least not while their stomachs and heads are still in that transition state of queasiness after a particularly raucous celebration. Broken bottles have been swept into a corner and piles of porridge have been scrubbed from the tables, but other remnants of the party have mostly just been kind of shoved to the side to be dealt with later. Sitting with her back to the bulk of the mess so she can kind of pretend it isn't there is Daphne, and she's kind of massaging that spot on her lower back that always seems to be giving her a little bit of trouble. She has a 2-pan scale in front of her, which she's using with the help of a set of small weights to measure out pouches of coin. So she'll dump some coin in and then take the little weights and sort of measure them out. When she scoops them into one, ties it off, puts it aside. Pretty standard practice for a place that, does bounties and things, to count out the coin ahead of time and have it ready to go. She ties them off, sets them aside, adds an entry to some kind of written record that she has next to her. And at this point, Nani, who's kind of next to you, she steps in with you, but then just kind of waits back a little bit. She lets you kind of head in. So she's in here, and there's maybe 1 or 2 other people just like eating some food or just kind of going over some books and stuff, but it's pretty quiet in here. It's almost kind of empty.
Go walk up to Daphne. Yoo-hoo! Thunk, thunk, the 2 heads on the table. 2 goblin leader heads.
She pushes the scale aside.
Ain't that a sight for sore eyes?
Yeah. Nasty fuckers. What are you looking for?
Just making sure it's them.
Yeah, let it out.
This place needed a victory, moral or otherwise. And here you come to give it to me. You best believe I will get these mung beans to a tannery quick as I can. Preservation first, and then on display from thereafter.
Sounds lovely.
First entry into my Museum of Menace. I'm sure you won't be offended if I assume you weren't alone in bringing them down.
No, the rest of our group, they're resting. It was tough. We did...
I hope the reason for you coming by yourself isn't that you're the only one left.
No. They're fine. They just wanted to head back to the Paramount. We did lose one. It was tough.
Grieves me to hear it.
Yeah.
I hate feeling like I sent someone to their death, but contract says they are, danger and so forth. There's no getting around it.
We knew what we were getting into, but yeah, it still hurts either way. But it helps that we've got these heads here at the very least, yeah?
Last to die at the hands of these two assholes.
Yeah.
Sacrifice that won't be soon forgotten.
Took out a few others on the way too, so thinned out the crowd a little bit.
Only good mung bean's a dead mung bean. Sorry,
No worries.
I can count out your share right now if you want.
Yeah, deposits and reward, please.
With one last appeal to Fort Contrition, we got the total up to 1,200.
Ow!
Which split 5 ways is 240 per, or given that you came back with one fewer combatant makes it 300 even. Now, as far as the refundable deposit goes, right before you made a mess at the treasury, it was TC that came and talked to me. It was Mr. Welker that handed me the final sum, so it's to him that I'm going to hand it back. What happens after that's not my concern.
That's fine, I understand. I'll just take my deposit and my cut.
What I'm saying is, Mr. T.C. Welker handed over the deposit, and therefore he is the only one I'm authorized to hand it back to.
Daphne, don't do this. It's been a long day, okay?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, please. I want it for you.
Yeah.
21.
Wow.
I was here in the back of the Merc Hall. You saw us all empty out our pockets, okay?
All right.
She goes over to that kind of pile of pouches she has to the side. 300. She takes 3 that sound like they each have 100 for the contract itself, and then she takes another 100 and then opens one and counts out 20 more coin there. So the 300 for your split of the contract, and then the 120 that you put in for the deposit initially.
Thank you.
If Mr. Welker complains about it, I'll send him to you.
I'll let him know. They are expecting their gold, but I guess they'll be up here when they can.
Thanks, Ace. I know this isn't normally your purview.
Hey, happy to kill some mung beans, right?
Yeah. Sorry, was there anything else you needed?
Oh, just, keep an eye out for those flea bags, yeah? Toss them some more jobs. They did good work.
All right.
Yeah. Give them a call.
Originally, my go-between was Ms. Maury, but she has since vacated Brunkhollow, so I need people I can count on.
Yeah. I think that, young, happy one especially, Illien. Reach out to him.
All right.
And as the two of you kind of stand there for a moment, Nani has kind of just been wandering around a little bit. She's been listening, just kind of moving back and forth a little bit. And at this point in the conversation, you just hear her off to the side. Hey, Daphne. She turns. As a small additional favor for these fine folk coming through for you,
Can we take one of these smaller wine casks so we can celebrate proper tonight? You can take one of the bigger ones if you like. Smell's only serving to make me sick now anyhow. A small one's fine. And she kind of walks back. This is a strange request, I know. Do you have a spare key that I can have? It doesn't matter what it's for, not something that goes to anything important.
Nani.
I guess so. When those goblins snuck in a couple nights ago, they broke the lock on one of the doors leading to the cell block. So at this point, this key's just a bent piece of metal. She hands it kind of off to her. Perfect. Thanks. Well, I'll get these heads seen to, and thanks again.
Get some rest. You look like you still need some.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks,
I'll
Dad.
sleep better tonight. Good night, Ace.
Have a good night. And then I wait till we're out.
Yeah.
And I just look at Nani.
It's not what you think.
What do you think?
I got a plan.
Okay, girl. Maybe better than mine. All I was thinking is, if things go to shit, if Bison doesn't leave, got a nice chunk of gold here. There's some sort of secret society under the bank. They pretty much trade in gold. Might be able to get us passage and some supplies. Sharkbait works there.
It's just so many things that we've got over at EOD.
I know.
My apps, my supplies, my tools.
That's preferable. So what are you doing with this?
I'll show you. Just
All right.
let me think on it.
All right.
And before kind of stepping out from the archway over the Merc Hall's entrance, Nani does a quick kind of scan back and forth in both directions, her hood still drawn there, make sure nobody's around that might immediately recognize her on sight. And then she motions for you to follow her to a stretch along the riverbank that's nestled between two smaller dwellings. Once again, I'll kind of bring up the map here very briefly. She's taking just this little spot here. So you've gone across, you're like just in the reeds here between those two.
Kind of looking at Maeve's house in EOD.
Yes, and like gives you a nice straight shot there.
Beautiful.
As she leads you over in that direction, she squats down by some of the taller reeds and she motions for you to do the same. And the two of you look out across the creek there. From here, you have that straight shot vantage point to the western side of EOD, and that is the side with those larger kind of barn-style doors that when they're taking wagons in and out, it's almost like a little loading dock, loading bay. A couple of the doors are open, so you can't really see inside from this angle, but you can see that they are open at this point. And it's a little late for these to be open. Most of the time, they've been kind of shut up at this point, so it's definitely some people still manning the loading dock, which is not always the case at this hour. At this vantage point, you could probably see Bison emerge if somebody gave him a good reason to vacate his office. The thoroughfare is fairly crowded, but Bison's physique is pretty identifiable even from a distance. So you settle in for what may be kind of a last opportunity to take in the town for a good long while here. And you sit. Alright. Once Bison leaves, and he is gonna leave, says you, I'll go in through the wagon doors. Now, you're gonna split off toward the eastern entrance and head straight down to the lockers. Hopefully by the time you've gathered our things, I'll have garnered enough attention to give you an opportunity to get up to the office and you can talk to Peter. Now, I'm sure I don't have to remind you, but try to be quick about it. Odds are someone's going to send hail to Bison when they find out that I'm back. So it'll be up to your friends to hold his attention as long as they can. I'll find an opening to slip away, maybe tell him I need a bath, which I do. And I'll meet you behind Maeve's where we said we buried the key.
Yeah. How are we getting Peter out?
Peter can probably find his way out on his own once Bison returns and at least finds out that I'm alive. People will tell him that. I'm hoping that if Peter believes, if we can convince him that he's actually going to get back to Piran and be set up comfortable there, he'll be willing to risk that kind of escape.
Yeah.
I think normally he'd think his head was on the chopping block, but if he thinks he can get out of town, I think he'll risk it.
I'm sure I don't have to tell you. You've been there dozens of times. You just take a left as soon as you go in the door. Lockers are downstairs. And she's telling you information you already know, but she's saying it out loud to kind of just go through all it. Door's on the left.
Hey, look at me. We know what we're doing. We're either getting out of here, or whatever happens if we don't. Okay? And I want to give her a kiss.
You do, sort of by the riverbank there. It's like, it's not unexpected, but just in the moment where you're clearly focused on something else, it catches her a little by surprise. Sort of quick intake of air, and then...
Just relax your mind, okay?
Sort of settles in, the two of you kind of in the reeds here, and she... She watches across. Never wanted to see that fat man come out of there so badly. We're gonna pivot around. Coming down the thoroughfare. This is kind of happening at the same time that, you don't know this, but Nani and Ace are not at the riverbank yet. We're reversing in time a little bit as you guys turn down, so you're heading in the direction of EOD there. As you guys come down the thoroughfare, you're seeing what they're seeing from the opposite angle. The doors to the loading dock appear to be open. Which, again, I think Doxley was here sort of late in the evening at one point, and they were closing up. So, again, immediately striking you as more people here than usual at this point in the evening. As you get a little closer, all three of you give me perception checks.
Yes, sir.
Gladly.
Yep,
Okay.
that's about right.
Sorry.
12.
14.
4.
Okay. The only thing you really notice as you get closer is stationed at either end of the opening to the loading bay, and then more of them revealing themselves as you get closer and are able to see in further, are armed and armored people. Like, he has sentries kind of out. They look a little bored. They look like they've been told to be stationed there for maybe hours, maybe since this morning. You're not entirely sure. I mean, some kind of shifts involved. But there's people with spears and sort of studded leather armor sort of leaning up against the edge of the sort of wagon doors there. As you look to the interior, the wagons from like the various dig sites have come in. So people are kind of sitting on the wagons, their sword. Some people are sort of banging their sword idly against the side of wagons. Like, it looks like it's a tedious process. You can tell that Bison has been told them that they can't leave, they can't go anywhere. So probably you see 4, 5, 6 people here in the loading dock, all kind of just waiting. A couple times there's like a muffled, like a kind of yell or something, and you see some heads turn up to the back corner just to see back to their business. So it's a sort of atmosphere of boredom around here, but also just people that know that Bison's been on edge, so people are just kind of waiting it out, trying to bide their time, ride the storm out until, somebody shows up or Bison calms down. So that's the sort of energy you're picking up on as you approach. So.
Just a quick review.
Yeah.
We are ignorant of Nani and her goings-on. We're sharing not only that there was a statue, but that there is magic around them.
Goblins had it.
And maybe not the nature of where or how, but there is magic.
I'm sure I don't need to remind either of you guys of anything, but there's no reason to be stressed about this at all. It's been a long day. We have valid information to bring to Bison. We're just here on a normal meeting.
Oh, to live in your head.
I feel the stress flying off of my shoulders with wings.
Depending on how well trained these guardsmen are, people to protect can detect if you're nervous about things, how much you show it. So this is all legitimate. This is fine.
Yes.
And let's remember that Bison isn't a man that you can implant ideas into. He's going to get his own ideas all on his own. We're here to just give him information.
And he's so smart.
In an impartial setting.
An impartial setting.
All right.
All right, best foot forward.
There's 2 people there at the entrance there, sort of leaning up against the jamb of the door there.
Hello.
Evening.
What We need to speak with Bison. Are you the person I talked to get that arranged?
Nobody's the person to talk to for that, not tonight.
Oh, well.
Otherwise occupied.
What if it is extremely pressing matters that needs to be heard tonight?
Then I suggest you shout it and hope that he hears it and come out, because no one is going in that fucking office. I guarantee you that.
I'm not to go in his office.
I'm not talking about you. I'm saying none of us want to deliver a message to that fucking office.
Can you walk me up and I'll go in the office or give a knock? You don't have to step in.
Make a persuasion check.
I've never been more nervous than for the next 2 hours.
That's a
nat 20.
That's a nat 20.
Oh, let's go!
That's a nat 20.
You had me, man.
It's the dice.
It's the dice.
scary dice.
Roll those dice away, Steven. Damn you. So sorry.
How important is this?
Very.
Important enough that if he doesn't hear it now, tonight, he will be mad at the people that stood in the way of the information getting it to him. And I promise you that.
I can bring him a note, but no one steps inside EOD. Period.
Sure. Well, do you have a writing utensil? I don't know if I just came back from an adventure.
Oh, I've got like I said I had like a not charcoal. What was that stuff I was gonna use to like write in my journal? Like a crayon.
Kind of chalk or
Not like like that waxy stuff.
like a crayon.
Yeah, like a crayon.
Yeah,
yeah, she's got a 16
Like a
pack of
periwinkle.
Crayola crayon.
Yeah. Like,
And how do you hold it? Kind of like-
Yeah, like
You got papers?
We'll say
yeah.
yeah.
I have like a little field notes journal too. So
Do you want to take it down or should I?
no, I chicken scratch.
Okay. And I'm gonna trust you. This should be for Bison's eyes only.
fun. You can watch me walk it up there. He motions, and you can see in the corner the door to Bison's office up there.
Doxley
Great.
is looking over your shoulder.
We'll be right back. Let's take a step away.
Sure. Oh, sure.
What do you write?
It seems very urgent.
I just mean a step away from you. We'll be right here.
Now in a hushed tone. Matters concerning the statue that you found. We have more pressing information about them.
What?
I was thinking more like found a second statue. Fuck nuts, meet us at the mall affair. Montero.
All back.
God damn it.
Okay, I like the directness of that.
A second statue has been unearthed.
See us for more info.
Something.
Signed F Nut.
Yeah.
New character.
Something about your sharp-fingered friends.
We could
Going to begin writing as I think the guard is watching us at this point.
maybe we say like
Second statue is found. Period.
while working the Goblin Raider contract. Wink.
Okay, while working the Goblin Raider contract,
No.
important information is needed to be told to you right now.
This page is only like this big, Illien.
I'm writing this down and that's good
Those
enough.
first two sentences, I think, is enough. Come to us now.
Yes.
At Montero.
We should walk with him.
We should escort him.
With us.
Yes.
Now.
With us
To
to
Montero.
Montero's rooms. You said I could walk up with you.
No, I said you could watch me walk up the stairs.
Perfect. I am watching you closely.
Hold this, yeah?
Sure.
Whoa. Turns around. It's just a basic spear.
Hold on.
He walks through, and a couple people sort of who are sitting around kind of look up curiously just about what's going on, and he sort of holds the blood. He doesn't open it or anything, but he sort of shows it, and he motions that he's kind of going up, and a couple people...
for the yelling.
Always.
Sort of motions to you down,
I'm gonna yell.
and he's gonna.
Shut.
He goes down to one knee as if to slip it under the door.
Yell for him? What? So he opens the door.
He goes down.
Bison! It's Illien!
And everyone sort of.
I. The man's busy. He's busy.
I put it under the door.
I'll give it a good 30 seconds.
Doxley's gonna start trying to, maybe making a little bit of a scene, push through the guards.
Okay, as soon as you take a step like in the direction of the bay, 3-4 people
That's okay.
immediately
That's
kinda
all right.
get up.
Oi, Bison!
No.
Get your ass down here now! And I'm gonna start trying to push my way through, making a bit of a
you
rush.
can't push through. There's 4
Okay,
people
that's
that
fine.
all kind of go at you at the same time.
All right, Doc. It's
well,
gonna be okay.
Almost could have helped.
It's gonna
but-
be okay.
Right, sure. There's a lot of kind of commotion here at the edge.
You told.
Don't, everybody stay back. Hey, give me my spear. Give me my spear back.
He was the one that said.
And as soon as
Yeah.
all of this is kind of happening, you hear the door open. Hey! And it kind of goes quiet. And you see a head poke out, and he's got something in his hand.
We're just kind of backing off a little bit here.
Does any of my people tell you I'm fucking busy?
Yes! But we need to see you, Bison. Please.
I'm finishing up something. Where can I meet you?
I'll wait right here.
No, you fucking cannot.
Across the street?
It's so important that we're gonna have this conversation out in the middle of the thoroughfare.
No, I'd rather not speak yelling at you.
You can
I
read.
don't want that either.
You can read, can't you?
I can read, yes.
Then you know where we'll be.
Did you guys write?
I put Montero.
Wait,
I put
hang on.
Montero.
I
was like-
losing my mind.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We did. I put at the end.
Okay, there was some.
Well, we said come with us to the Montero.
I see.
Let's wind it back 2 minutes. Thank you, everyone.
You're not at fault, Matt. That letter was incoherent.
Sort of.
The sun and the sun.
I'll meet you there, yeah?
Sure, we'll get it
5
arranged.
minutes. Can you wait 5 minutes?
If it gets to 20, we're going to Izzy. I leave.
Make an intimidation.
Yes. Doxley.
No. It's a natural one.
No!
Are you serious? Where's your inspiration,
I'm
girl?
gonna use inspiration.
Okay.
I'm gonna use it. I
Natural
really hate
one.
that I'm using it.
Rips a huge
I-
wet fart.
I really hate that I'm using this so early. in
Oh,
this
No, this
entire
is so
endeavor.
important, though.
Okay, intimidation you said?
Can't believe.
17.
17.
You guys are going away.
5 minutes.
He slams the door behind.
I look to the spearman.
Yeah, kind of meet eyes with all these guys.
That went well, I would say.
Doxley will take out like a gold for
Yeah.
maybe 2 of the guys that were most honor and just no hard feelings.
First in line for promotion, all of you, I'm sure.
Really appreciate it.
Made our night nice and interesting, just the way I like it.
Montero's.
Turn slowly.
You guys start to head in that direction. We're gonna go over to the Paramount for a moment.
Ooh.
Told you things work out for the Tyrun. We just make a fucking scene.
You fucking said! You fucking did! He touched my ass!
You're like, who did that?
Somebody hit me! There's a mark right here. What'd you call my mother?
Coming up onto the porch and heading into Paramount Lodgings, which is very, very quiet, unusually quiet for a hotel at this particular time, even, especially as a place that's known to have kind of an eatery inside. Looks like even there's only 1 or 2 people inside. And there's someone at the desk, a sea elf man, who you've seen around town but have not spoken to personally, directly at the moment. And he sees you kind of come in. Ah, good evening.
Hey.
I'm
Mr. Clemens, and I own this hotel in part.
Mr. Clemens, I'm Annabel Millay.
Nice to meet you. I think I've seen you around, but you must have other accommodations.
Yes, yeah, I've been around for a couple days. I'm actually looking for somebody who I think is a guest here. Her name is Morna Ishtig.
She
She's a girlfriend of mine.
Oh.
Is she around?
She is not. I believe she left very early this morning, but one of her traveling companions returned not long ago, so I imagine she will shortly follow.
Great. Can I have a sit for a while?
Yes, of course. Kitchen's open to all. You weren't looking for a room or anything to that effect?
Where am I staying then?
You have a place to sleep at the butcher shop.
Oh.
If you choose to stay there.
Nah, I'm doing just fine. Thank you so much.
Of course. Kenzo's around here somewhere. He can bring you a cup of coffee or...
Yeah, that sounds lovely. I'll sit and have a wait.
Very well.
So nice.
Please.
It's a lovely hotel you got here.
Thank you. We try to keep it clean and prepared for all occasions.
It's not as busy as I thought it would be.
We have a number of people that are moving out, actually.
Oh.
It took a while to come together, but I understand a recent influx of gold has accelerated the progress of a small series of houses just above the Gnome Nook.
Oh.
There was a clearing that was felled there, trees brought down so that they could make additional residences and dwellings. A number of the people at my hotel were waiting for a chance to move into their home, and I believe they're on the cusp of moving in, so very happy for them to find permanent accommodations.
That's lovely. Wow. Well, yeah, I'll set a spell and maybe have a cup of coffee or whiskey, maybe. Thank you.
Please do. Yes.
And I'll go back and sort of have a seat in the booth and just keep an eagle eye out for Morna.
Go and you sit in one of the booths, and as you sort of head in there, can you give me a perception check?
Of course.
Use those stats.
Aww. That's a 9.
9, okay. As you move in, you just ever so slightly catch sight of someone that, only because you literally just sat with someone who had a kind of very similar attire, there's someone in the next booth over that has a big brown overcoat that seems to be over what might be kind of a grayish outfit underneath. And he's sitting there,
So much shit.
sort of twiddling his thumbs a little bit. Seems a little, just sort of impatient. Seems like he's been sitting there for a while. There's a cup of coffee in front of him, but there's no steam rising. It seems like it might have been there for a while. So you just clock that there's someone else that's sort of making that.
I'm gonna sit on like he's in a booth?
Yeah, he's
I'm
in
gonna
the
sit
booth.
with like in the booth with my back to him.
Okay, so he's like just
Yeah,
over
so
the
he's
shoulder.
just over
there.
my shoulder.
Yeah,
kind of.
there is like a curtain divider, but he is physically just over your shoulder there.
Yeah.
Start like rubbing up against it.
No, there's a it's a booth.
No, I know.
All right.
Being weird.
And I'll just sort of You want some company?
No.
Oh, all right. I'm awful good conversation though.
You're here to see Morna Ishtik?
I'm gonna sort of poke my head around. Yeah, girlfriend of mine. How you know her?
I don't know her well. I spoke with her yesterday. Have you seen her today? I wish to speak with her.
I didn't even know she was in town. So, no. Since we're both waiting on the same person, I don't sit with you.
I'd rather you didn't.
She's gonna come and sit across from it.
Oh my god.
I would really, and at that moment, Kenzo kind of comes.
Hi. I'd love a coffee and also a whiskey and maybe one for my gentleman friend right here.
He sort of looks over and
And potatoes.
What'd you guys talk about yesterday?
We didn't. I delivered her a letter.
Oh. You a courier then?
Sort of.
A green and gray sort of courier.
Yes.
Cool. Cool. Where are you from originally?
I am from Peron, as many others are.
Big town, yeah. I've been in Peron. Kettlefield for a while, actually. My aunties and uncles are out there.
Did
They send you away because you talk to strangers?
They did, yeah. Yeah, they send me away. So I'm a huge pain in the ass and a bit of a slut.
Finally, some great representation.
How long you been working at Fort Contrition?
Year and a half.
Oh. Pay good?
It's fine. When did you last see Mona Ishtig? I'd like to speak with her so I can be on my way.
I didn't see her. God, I saw her back in Redbriar. So it's been a while.
But you have reason to believe that she will be here tonight.
Yeah. I was just told she's in town. And that, Clemens over there at the front desk saw one of her compatriots, so.
The man that came in.
Yeah.
Suppose I'll wait a little longer then.
I mean, if you want, you can leave it with me. I promise not to open it.
It is not a physical letter.
Word of mouth kind of thing.
It comes from someone higher ranking than myself.
I understand.
Kenzo comes back.
Thank you so much. Kenzo, yeah? I'm Annabel. And this is my friend,
Gideon.
Gideon. Love the name. Cheers, Gideon. Cheers, Kenzo.
Kenzo has just the bottle.
I should not be drinking on duty. You can take the bottle back to the kitchen.
Yeah, we're trying to keep chill over here. Thanks so much. This coffee is terrible.
Oh. Most things in Brunkhollow are.
Are they better over in Little Hollow?
Yes.
How about that music box, though? That's kind of nice.
I
I'm not a
haven't
fan of
been.
music. Well, you should go. I see people in there all the time.
Not people that I wish to associate with.
Really? I see men of Fort Contrition in there. And you don't wish to associate with them either? The wrong kind of guards?
No.
Well, everybody likes a little bit of music. Surely you like music.
It's not the music that I have a problem with.
It's the ruffians.
It is the people, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a rough town, but I don't know. It's got
Do you
its
have
charm.
reason to believe that Morna Ishtig will be here soon?
I don't know. I mean, I hope so. I hadn't seen her in a long time. Be good to see her face. She's dour, though. You notice that? Bit cold, kind of off-putting in general.
I only spoke with her very briefly. She seemed fine.
No, she's like, solid gal. Real talented stonemason and stuff.
If you say so.
Oh, yeah, I do. What'd you do back in Piran? Security, too?
I was a guard in Piran, yes. It was once upon a time when a relocation to Fort Contrition was considered a great honor. It is no longer the case, and I wish to go back to Piran.
If you do real good with this letter delivering or word of mouth delivering, will they send you back to Piran?
If I do well in my duties, not my letter delivery,
Sorry.
then yes, perhaps I will be relocated.
Must be hard to get new guards in, eh?
There's always someone looking for a job.
I sure am.
Looking for a job?
Yeah. You think they'd hire me as a guard?
I do not.
Really? Why?
You are required on occasion to show restraint in conversation.
I can be real quiet when I need to be. It's just a friendly evening. And I like to chat. Ain't no harm.
I shall review your application myself.
We'll have big letters on the top. Annabel Malay.
I'm going to take a piss.
I'll make
If
sure
more
Mora don't run off.
shows
Yeah,
up.
for sure.
Tell her I'll be right back.
All right. See you later, Gideon.
Go.
He gets up, starts to walk away. And Clemens, who's been sort of writing away at the desk there, he sort of gives the man a nod as he sort of walks out to find an outhouse or something. He looks over to you.
Couldn't help myself.
Funny to see a clinker blush.
Yeah. How long has he been here?
He's been waiting here for over an hour.
Oh, no.
Kenzo's brought him 3 cups of coffee, none of which he's drank.
Well, he drank that whiskey I got him.
I should have had Kenzo bring him one of those.
Maybe he likes the stronger stuff.
Perhaps. He goes back to his business, and that's where we're going to take a little break.
Oh my god, she's the best.
Board is set.
I love
The
it.
board is... Welcome to the table, Annabel.
Annabelle.
Half elf, all babe.
As always, we're going to take a little break. We've got some fun and games for you. Is there a new game?
Yeah, I finally did
What's a
it.
new fun game?
There's a new game. You'll see it at when the countdown clock hits 2:30, two minutes
close
or
to the
something.
end.
Yeah, it's near the end.
So
you
stick
gotta,
around
you gotta stick
for the break, and then stick around for the stuff after the break
For
too.
Everything's
nothing
going
happening.
down.
Just
That is where we'll pick up. We've got Nani and Ace waiting to spring up and head towards the OD. We've got Bison possibly meeting us over at the Lucky Heathen.
Possibly?
Just annoyed enough to fucking
Just frazzled.
yeah to join us. Good use of inspiration by
Oh, thank God.
Yes.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Very exciting. And we'll see you on the break. Enjoy the game.
All right, let's go. Brunkhollow Power Ball.
Bet for all you're listening, you got a tale like this. Regrets, remembrances, and loved ones you all miss. We're all in this together, so don't be too unkind. At the end of our journey, who knows what we may find as we follow our sorrow to Brunkhollow. Follow our sorrow to Brunkhollow as we follow our sorrow to Brunkhollow.
Welcome back, everybody, to Brunkhollow, chapter 34. Oh, did we get it? There's a gnat in the room.
Got it?
I got it.
Oh, eat it. That's a +1 to your next roll.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Not all, don't all me.
More gnats in here.
Get more gnats in here.
The plans are in motion. Things are rolling. Rocking and rolling. Working towards the goal. Big showdown with Bison at the Lucky Heathen. But before we go back to the town.
Here we go. Scarface resubscribed. Mr. Ward's resubscribed. Skeptic Spicer subscribed with Prime, which is free.
that is
Insanely Flatulent gave out a community sub, and then Wrangler Spider Wrangler gifted a sub.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate the support.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have it.
So we're gonna follow, just in case if there's anything else you wanted to do, follow the 3 of you away from EOD, having just spoken with Bison. The a little bit of unrest sort of calming there at the entrance to the loading bay. You guys return to the thoroughfare, a little further, or maybe 20, 30 feet away from EOD.
Could have gone worse.
I think that went well.
I suppose.
I guess we better hurry and get this room squared away so that he's not whining when he gets there.
Shall we, one or two of us go ahead and the other wait and make sure that he does leave?
Do you think he'll take offense if we're not all... I'll leave it to you guys. I'm gonna start jogging up to the Lucky Heathen.
Heading toward the Lucky Heathen? Are you following Illien?
Bye. I see no reason why he can't just escort himself, but
All right. How many heavies do you think he'll bring with him?
I don't know, but I don't know if that's going to impede us in any way.
Are we doing any kind of Good enforcer, bad enforcer.
Do you want to?
I don't know, maybe it might help.
Which would you pick, TC? Would you pick good or bad?
I mean, you just slot so well. I think that he likes me. I think he likes me.
So you want good.
Yeah.
Got it. So you're saying I slot into bad.
I think that you have a certain presence about you.
I like that. Let's go.
All right.
Just give you a little smack on the bottom.
Get you moving through the thoroughfare.
Yeah.
And a
Feel enforced.
few steps ahead, Illien steps in, and just as you might expect at this hour, the Lucky Heathen is packed in here. The addition of the centrally located Snake in the Grass staging area, leaving even less room for people to kind of stand around. And the double pass tables are featuring a rotating cast of characters ready to throw down their money as soon as a seat becomes available. At one table, you can see Teddy Haas, and he looks like he's in the middle of both calming and maybe warning a particularly hot-headed patron who may have just lost a sum on a bad beat there. You can see him sort of sort of soothing him, calming him. At one point, he sort of grabs a bottle that just went by, and he sort of pours a drink on the house, pats him on the back to sort of smooth things over. None of them that you can kind of see. There's some musicians playing over by the side, and none of them are the always popular Mr. Crutchley, who may have returned to his usual post at the music box. But you do see a trio of musicians that are adding a little pep to the atmosphere. A pair of guitarists, one woman who's kind of letting loose on the harmonica. Ooh. And at a quick glance, there's only one Montero present on the floor. You see Liam, he's back by the poker tables as he kind of was before when you came here. He's not actually playing a game of poker, he's sort of sitting, leaning against the table, he's having a conversation with 2 or 3 other people. People are kind of laughing, sipping their drinks, talking to each other. So you see him in the back, Teddy's kind of over at one table, and just behind you can hear Doxley and TC also, so the footsteps kind of coming up behind you.
Great. I'm just gonna start, maybe look back, lock eyes at you guys, and point in the direction and head straight to Liam.
Do you follow, or are you
Yeah.
keeping your distance? Okay.
Yeah.
Heading on. You head over in the direction of Liam, and he seems, kind of mid-story there. And that's why you can never trust a man from Sargus. I mean, the founders were conscription evaders, looking for a place to lay low. And someone tells you who they are, believe them. Mr. Tyrun, Lucky Heathen's favorite flea bag.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate it. Speaking of maybe cashing in a favor or some sort,
Have you favors to cash in? He looks around and gives a little bit of a kind of laugh at the people around him.
maybe an IOU or something. All I'm meaning to say is, your room's upstairs. Can I give you some gold to use one?
I think that can be arranged. Only one room is currently in use, so we have availability to spare. How about third on the right, at the top of the stairs? I'll have Teddy make it up for you.
Amazing. Let me know what I owe you. We can talk later, perhaps.
No compensation required, as you said. I owe you a favor.
Well, thank you, Liam. Ever so gracious. I appreciate it.
Give Teddy a few minutes, and then find him, and the room is yours. Would you like anything brought up? Wine, ink and parchment, a deck of cards. Those you'll have to pay for.
No, I think we'll be okay.
Very well. As I said, in a couple of minutes, then see Teddy, who will take you up.
Third room on the right.
And so it turns back to his group there, and you turn around.
Did we hear that?
Sure, yeah, you guys sort of walked in. You kept a little bit of a distance, but you could hear the exchange happen between them. Yeah.
Third room on the right. I guess we'll let Teddy know.
You didn't order libations.
No, Bison doesn't deserve it. It'll be quick.
I'm gonna go get a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, just a little lubrication, I think.
For the tempers, Illien, for the tempers.
All right.
Have him bring a
As you
deck of
guys
cards,
also-
too.
As you guys also talk, sorry, just really quickly, he sort of taps on someone and whispers something, and someone who seems to be working at the casino here, and they sort of nod, and they quickly shuffle over to Teddy, and they sort of And Teddy nods, and it looks like he heads for the staircase to like, as Liam said, he's like clean up the room or just make it ready and stuff. So you see him kind of disappear over in the direction of the staircase.
Well, I guess we wait, and hopefully by the time Bison gets here, it's ready.
A drink, you said?
I was gonna grab a bottle, yeah.
All right. Let's go do that.
I'll wait here. I'll watch for Bison.
Head over to the bar area. Nobody that you recognize immediately there at the bar. You have sort of to kind of wait a second. It's pretty popular. Someone sort of grabs 2 glasses of wine that they had. They head over to one of the tables. A little spot opens up. What can I get you?
Bottle of whiskey, we're heading upstairs.
Sure. Smoky or smooth?
Smooth.
I can get you each your own drinks.
Smooth.
Smooth.
Smooth it is.
Thought we were on the same page there,
Really
Doxley. I really did.
Whole bottle.
Please.
So he grabs, gets a couple glasses. 2 glass?
4, actually,
4.
please.
Couple more. We'll do lifestyle expenses later. They're not that. It's not as super pricey.
Do you have you don't have any decks of cards back there, do you?
I can find someone to get you one.
Yeah, please.
Of course. A deck of cards. Somebody one of the croupiers kind of goes over and he reaches under the table, sort of takes one out. And then, there you go, sir. To borrow or to?
Yes, just borrow.
Ah, great. Return it when you get a second.
Certainly.
Thank you. He goes back to take a couple other people's orders, sort of running back and forth along the bar.
Just kind of fiddling with them for now. Don't take them out quite
A
yet.
moment here. The two of you kind of look over and you see Illien's like his head above some people, sort of looking around, kind of waiting to see.
Smile, TC.
I'm all smiles. I can't wait to lay my head down to rest. That's what's getting me through these next few hours.
Come on.
Go way back.
As you guys wait there in the sort of lobby of the Lucky Heathen. Out on the opposite side of the Brunkhollow Creek. Head still on your shoulder there, just by the bank. At one point, those 2 smaller houses you're between, you hear the door of one of them sort of open up, and the 2 of you just kind of perk up and look over. But it sounds like someone goes inside and the door closes. Takes your spot again. A little bit of time passes, and you let your eyes kind of very soft focus on the thoroughfare, just waiting for one particular figure to stand out. Sea of people moving to and from, a lot of people going in and out of the chop house, the music box. That soft focus lasts for so long that it starts to kind of all morph together, the sort of blob of figures, shapes, all shades of brown, similar to spotting someone's reflection in a body of water where it's like kind of warped, ill-defined. All of a sudden, almost like your iris goes from dilated to constricted. Everything sharpens and clicks into place when you see a man leave the confines of EOD. And as he does so, he pushes stringy graying hair out of his face and kind of back behind his head. He takes a moment to kind of jam his untucked shirt into his pants there. He gets about 75% of the way there before deciding that it's kind of good enough. And then he gives one last look back up toward the window of his office, where there's a light on up there. He starts to kind of amble through the thoroughfare in a northward direction, kind of towards the buildings up there. And you can see Nani, the 2 of you, like watch, and then she gets into a sort of squatted, almost like a sort of crouched ready position. And as she crouches down, she picks up that small wine cask that she had taken from the Mercall, sort of puts it under her shoulder. Gives you one last look as if to say kind of, now or never.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I chug one of my healing potions.
Okay.
As well.
Such low expectations.
Yeah. We're gonna be fine.
Just for the folks at home, I have 25 hit points.
You get the full amount
That's
there
so
for taking the action.
10 plus con, right?
No, it's just 2d4 plus 2, so it's just a 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet. Okay. I like this 10 plus con roll though.
Yeah, I thought that was. I thought it was.
Workshop.
No, a healing potion's not con-based, but that would be cool. Your ability to absorb the healing potion.
My vessels.
Okay.
You get across the bridge. As you notice that as you're crossing the bridge, Nani takes kind of a quick peek over her left shoulder just to look at Maeve's place. Again, still dark, no sign of anyone there, but she looks like she's looking kind of over by the riverbank just to see where you might be later if all goes well, sort of depositing the key. Takes a quick look over there.
See you back there soon.
Let's do it. A few more steps forward. Keep moving across. Sort of move through the thoroughfare a little bit further. Once again, let me just bring this up here. So yes, you guys move. So from your little hiding spot here, you come around, across the bridge, take a quick peek at Maeve's, and you get to this point here where you have to split off. So she's gonna head in this direction toward the loading bay, and sort of your function to head in this direction where there's another door over here, and that's where sort of is closer to the staircase that goes down into the sort of storage area. So as you pass by Maeve's, you get to that point there, that little edge on the end of this row of houses, and the two of you kind of stand there for a moment. I guess this is it.
This is it. If things go wrong, we'll figure it out on the fly, okay?
I see you at Maeve's.
See you at Maeve's.
Watch her disappear around that side. And you head along the eastern side.
I don't know. I'm pooping.
You get over to that door there and you wait a moment. You're sort of giving Nani time to maybe sort of head inside or whatever she sort of has planned in there. You're sort of waiting by the wall. It's busy here, so people aren't really sort of regarding you. There's plenty, it's not like suspicious for you to be kind of vaguely hanging around. And you wander in the direction of that door on the eastern side of EOD. And as you're sort of hanging around there, maybe 5 feet away from the door, you hear a sudden wave of cheers, as if someone just delivered a rousing speech. Whistling, clapping, laughter. You can sort of get a little closer and tilt your head up, and you can hear that Nani has maybe sort of doffed her hood or walked in through the loading bay, and you can hear the footsteps and the clamoring of weapons as it sounds like people are kind of swarming here. You see Nani! A lot of people kind of coming in. You hear her name repeated over and over and over. All those EOD employees who, undoubtedly, on Bison's instructions, are armed and armored. You hear people sort of clanging in sort of celebration, some swords on shields and things. Protect any further attempts to infiltrate. And you sort of are standing there by the door, possibly a cue. So what do you do?
I think that's definitely my cue. I also think I realized what the key is for. But I go in and head straight for equipment.
Great. You're going to open the door, and it's locked, but you have a key. As a number of sort of the surveyors and the what are you called?
Expungers.
Expungers, yes, have keys for EOD. You sort of click it open. Open the door just a crack, and you're glad to find that there's nobody kind of currently in this little kind of foyer mudroom area here, just inside. It's very sparse. There's some very fine lines of dust where it looks like somebody was sweeping earlier today. You have to sort of stay crouched and low as you enter because, and you knew this ahead of time, there's large windows that stretch from about chest high all the way to the ceiling that look into the loading bay where the reuniting is taking place. So you kind of crouch down, you can kind of peek up and see, but there's those big windows, so you don't just want to kind of stand upright where they could easily see you.
You're a dwarf.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't even
Only a little
crouch.
bit of just a lean.
You see just a little yellow.
From this room that you're in, there's a very short hallway that extends straight forward, and that heads to the loading bay, and it comes out just beneath those stairs that you know leads up to Bison's office. So you can see, they're like slotted stairs, so you could like kind of see, they're not solid, you can see through them. There's that sort of way straight forward, heads into the loading bay, and then off to your left, there's a staircase that descends down to a lower level where you know has been set aside for personal storage. Even with a little bit of the adrenaline and stress of what's happening, it's almost kind of touching to see the warm reception that Nani's receiving. You can see into the loading bay from here, and people are around her. She's getting hugs, pats on the back, sort of people rustling her hair. Just all of the maybe, 8, 9, 10 people have all come together to sort of see that she's kind of come back. And you can hear a little bit of the banter that's back and forth.
Safe and sound and back home in Brunkhollow. No thanks to y'all, I might add. And that sort of gets a laughter. Bison's orders all around. You know, we would have been out there if we had any idea what was afoot. Nah, it's all right, Roscoe. I know I put you in a tight spot. So there's a little bit of talking back and forth, lingering there. See the staircase?
Head on down.
Great. Make for the staircase there. As you are just about to take your kind of first step down the staircase, you can hear a little bit of more conversation taking place in the loading bay. And it sounds like you can hear Nani's voice is a little bit closer, but not like she's yelling into the room that you're in. It sounds like she's yelling up, like sort of casting her voice upward. And you can hear her sort of, Godwin, get down here. You drew the short straw for babysitting Peter, so you get the first pour. And you hear kind of a door opening, and you hear some footsteps, boom, boom, on the staircase up above. And then you can see her over the edge of the windows. She crouches down and tosses up that sort of little mini wine keg, and you hear someone on the top end sort of catch it on that side. Oh, boy, am I glad to see you. Let me just lock up here. Just leave it for now. She reaches into her pocket. She takes out the key that she took from Daphne there. I may have been apprehended, but I know well enough to hide a precious piece of property like this.
That's my girl.
So Peter is no longer the only one that holds a key. And at that, there's a little bit of cheering. And sort of, yeah, whoa, all right. Someone sort of pipes up in the back there. How did you manage that exactly? Same way that you keep from shitting yourself when you've had too much to drink at the music box. Clench them cheeks. And she sort of, that gets sort of a round of laughter there in the base of the loading bay. A little more. And it does indeed, you don't hear sort of the click of a lock. You hear someone kind of coming down the stairs with the sort of little mini keg of wine there. And as that happens, you descend down the stairs.
Oh boy.
Let's go.
We're gonna swing over.
Oh no. Game face.
To the Lucky Heathen once more.
I'm sweating so much.
Oh yeah.
That's just
I'm
the
clenched.
easy part.
We fast forward to us all laughing together.
Wonderful episode tonight, guys.
And Illien feels a little tap on his shoulder. You turn around, you see the tiefling Teddy Haas in his sort of fancy floral vest. Mr. Tyrun,
Yes.
the room is ready for you.
Thank you so much, Teddy. If you see Bison, that's who we're meeting, just send him on up.
Oh, I will.
Unless you'd prefer me to wait here.
No, please, of course. This way.
Perfect, thank
He
you.
walks over. I mean, as you've seen before, usually you get kind of an escort to the upstairs area. So he starts to walk, and you see Illien meeting up with Teddy there.
Let's go.
I didn't mention it, but yeah, also my sister and TC, that's no problem, right?
Not a problem. I assume that you spoke with Mr. Montero.
Yes, about setting up the room.
Excellent.
Great.
Please. Emotions. You head up that staircase. And again, you find yourself, you go back upstairs, and it's for like another conversation that's best kept out of earshot. You found yourself in a number of these here at the Lucky Heathen, which for some people in town, they may never see these upstairs rooms, and yet for you, you found your way back here. It's kept out of earshot from the usual rabble of the gaming floor, and given how much they strive to be in the know, you have to imagine that the Monteros are pleased that the venue's being put to use in this way. Even if they don't know the meeting's exact purpose or the contents of the discussion, facilitators like them have a way of finding themselves in high demand, as they are right now, and occasionally entrusted with certain things. And you know from having dealt with them, that's appealing to them to be a little bit of a go-between for the players. The slates on the door of this hallway, and you've seen them before, vacant, and then 2 of them have been flipped to occupied. 3 doors down on the right is the first one. That has the door cracked open, and there's a little bit of light flickering within. And the second, on the opposite side of the hall, maybe another 10 feet further down, there is another occupied sign. It's closed, it's fully closed.
What?
I want to know what's in there. What do you think?
And as Teddy walks you down the hall, you realize that for the first time, you'll be entering into an empty room here, the first party to arrive, which allows you to kind of settle into the space rather than have that nervous flurry of anticipation, especially when you didn't even know when you were about to know who you were about to meet, as was the case with the warden that one time. He pushes the door open, It's clean. It's uncluttered. There's a pitcher of water, and Doxley's carrying as well sort of the bottle, some glasses. TC is the sort of the other two. And as he sort of motions inside, is there anything else I can get you?
This is delightful.
I will send Mr. Stott up when he arrives.
Thank you.
Thank you.
After you, sister.
Doxley, take a big step.
Can I hear any voices from that? It's a little farther down, but...
It is. Give me a perception check. Something else you also remember from these rooms is they're insulated.
Yeah.
Like, they've been purposely made that it's sort of hard to hear in and out of them.
19?
19. There's enough muffled conversation that it sounds like several people. Like, but it's just, like, you can't.
It's not heated, it's not...
No, not necessarily. Just a meeting of multiple people. You hear different sort of timbres of the voice that indicate that it might be 3 or 4 different people, not just 2 having a conversation.
I want to keep an ear out that if by the time, before obviously Bison gets there, if I hear anybody leaving that room. And
Okay. You might have to keep the door open to do so. Are you okay with that? Because when you close the door and you're on the inside, it's pretty quiet.
I mean, I'll leave it cracked for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doxley's gonna put the drink down on the table, the glasses, and then almost to like a boxer entering a ring. She's just gonna kind of like karaoke around the room just to like fucking own the space and get amped up for this shit. She's getting ready. Let's go.
How many is there just one table?
One big central table. With that has, so it's 3, 3, 1, 1. So there's 1 chair on each end and then 3 on the long side. It's like a big, almost like a dinner table.
Okay.
So it's 8 seats total.
I'll post up on one of the sides there, and I've got the cards. And first, I'm just kind of shuffling and flicking around with them, but then I'm gonna like really and try to start building a
House of Cards.
a house of cards.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Symbolism.
Here we go. Sleight of hand. 18.
18. Okay. As he sort of sits down and is with the cards, a couple curious glances in your direction, just sort of nobody's sure what you're about to do, and then, like you've done it 1,000 times before, just like very methodically, very meticulously, like barely having to wait to move your hands away each time as you place the card. You just start to build at the base, second layer, third layer, and then the last 2 at the top.
Very
And
impressive.
just like very put my hands down on either side so that like
Impressive work. Illien will pull a seat out. You know, Doc, for better or for worse, Marilyn Lackland put me in situations like this a lot back home. And this actually feels the most comfortable I've been doing something like this while being in town. It feels like home base. Rooms and meetings and all of that fun stuff. Marilyn Lackland, Mom and Dad.
cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Good luck.
Do you mind if I get one of those?
Oh, you don't have a glass?
No, I have one.
Oh,
I just
sorry.
role playing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let him cook.
I have to be honest. I'm not usually one of the people in these rooms.
Like I said, you're with the Tyruns now, TC.
I feel like I belong.
You're getting there.
Thanks.
Another round. Let's make sure there's a glass fill for Bison.
Yes.
And as you do so, filling up the glass once more, getting yourself prepared. Back in the kitchen area of Paramount.
Oh my god.
Gideon is yet to return, taking a bit of an extended bathroom break. But someone wandering through the front door is, again, someone you've seen around town but maybe haven't spoken to personally, is who you know to be the other sort of co-owner of the hotel, Mr. Warren. Sort of staggers in, and you recognize him right away, both because you've seen him before, but also he was just sitting outside at the bonfire. Like, he was around there having a drink, and he kind of wanders back in, clearly, not totally out of sorts, but a little tipsy, sort of comes in, Smiles Mr. Warren, or Mr. Clemens, who sort of gives him, Warren? Kind of comes in. Sits down at a table in the kitchen. Kenzo, potatoes, please. Kenzo! Good, thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Fine night in Brunkhollow.
Indeed it is.
Are you staying at my hotel? Our hotel?
No, I'm actually just visiting a friend here. Waiting for her to return.
Good to have friends.
Yes, indeed. What'd you get up to today in Brunkhollow?
Oh. Had a decent day at the cards.
You dabble?
A dabble. And as you look over his shoulder, you can see Clemens sort of.
Okay, she's gonna clock that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, always good to know that Lady Luck was on your side.
I find that she often is. Is there someone I can help you find? I know the people at this hotel.
Have you seen Morna Ishtik?
I have not seen her.
Alright, well, then I'm just gonna sit here and wait. Maybe I'll ask Kenzo about them potatoes and maybe some sugar for this coffee.
I did see some of her companions moving over to the Lucky Heathen. I almost went there myself, but I had already had the fortune of a good run, and I didn't want to press my luck.
Oh, of course.
So,
You better leave when Lady Luck's on your
all
side.
There's a woman who knows her cards. He sort of looks over to Clemens, who, yes, she does.
If I can catch Clemen's eyes, I'm gonna give him sort of a... Well, maybe I will go and search out her companions at the Lucky Heathen. A delightful establishment in town.
We hope that you come back.
I am sure that Gideon would appreciate my absence when he returns.
Who's Gideon?
He was another gentleman waiting in here. I already talked his damn ear off.
Well, if I see him, I too will talk
You
to him.
should chat with him. He is actually a lovely conversationalist. I got a lot of information from him.
Thank you.
Of course. No, he would absolutely love that. All right, she's gonna get up and leave like some copper on the. She's gonna pay for her stuff and then leave a little copper on the table for Kenzo. Leave behind the coffee, and as she walks out, she's gonna say, "Thanks for your hospitality.
Of course, anytime."
I'll see you."
As you step out on the thoroughfare and turn a little bit, you can hear just sort of from the desk in the direction of the kitchen. We try not to give out personal information of our guests, Mr. Warren. I'm sure you know that. So he goes back to it.
Nice.
You tell him, Clemens.
This all happening at the same time. We go back
Great.
in the direction of EOD.
Oh, man.
As we head downstairs at EOD, the conversation starts to fade into the background as you descend, the familiar confines of the storage area coming kind of dimly into view. There's one flickering candle that sits atop a table to provide the only source of light. It looks like there's some cards strewn about the table too. It functions as a kind of break room sometimes when people are on duty and, or between shifts. So it's some chairs that are down here, some empty glasses. All around the perimeter of this room are a series of narrow cages, filled to varying extents with personal effects as permitted by Bison, tools, jackets, spare pairs of pants, boots, weapons, other sundries, little chests of coin, like anyone who wants, a lot of people, even people who might own a house or a tent, like people feel this spot is pretty safe. So there are locks on the cages, but people leave some of their valuables here, nice weapons that they have that they don't want to take out, when they're working in the mines or whatever. So all these lockers, literally wall to wall to wall, all sort of stuffed around the room. The room itself isn't really much to look at, but there is a little bit of like a wistful pang that hits you. So many times you've come down here, washed your face and hands in the basin against the back wall, collapsed onto one of the spare cots in the next room over. It's work, and it's sort of a home and yet also kind of neither work nor home because you've always been a little bit of a roamer. But all the same, it harbors some of those memories that you'll cherish some of those after you felt rather aimless after you set out for Brunkhollow to begin with. So you look around the room here. Give me a perception check first.
13.
13. As you step down, you immediately start to move in the direction of your locker, and then you stop for a moment because you hear... And you look over to the cot area, and there is someone that's sort of conked out on one of the cots there, their helmet off and to the side. Someone who maybe had an earlier watch in the loading bay.
Tiptoeing. I think I want to try get Nani and I's personals first.
Great. We'll say also that at some point along this, Nani gave you the key to her locker, so you have separate lockers, but you have the key to both. Yep.
Cool.
So, give me a stealth check with advantage as you crack this lock open.
Come on.
18.
18. Yours or Nani's first?
Nani's.
Nani's. Start to grab some things. Most of her effects is like scouting related, as you would expect. There's a bunch of rolled up maps that she's made of some of the areas of the Downwield. There's several sort of, she has like little tokens that, like little pieces of parchment with drawings on them that are different beasts that she's seen in the Downwield. Like she has scouting reports of different areas, places she's been, places she wants to go next. She has like a couple extra pairs of boots. She's got rope. She's got like a number of sort of exploration related things in her locker. And there is a little kind of wooden box at the very, very base under a sort of pair of pants that you lift up and you take out. And it has coin in it as well. So she had a little bit of savings that she'd put aside for future endeavors.
I think if there's like big like communal backpacks, start putting it all.
Yeah, there are some like, I mean, you have a big backpack too, but
Yeah.
yes, there for her maps also there's like a big canvas with an open top that you can kind of put over your shoulder. Yep, gather all that stuff. Easy enough.
Check. And then onto my locker.
Give me another stealth check with advantage.
Don't be afraid.
Sorry, yeah, no, I'm fine.
Big money.
Wow.
Double nines. Interesting. 14.
14. This one, the last Nani's locker wasn't sort of in full view of the cot area, but yours is. And as you kind of crack it open, you hear kind of a, and someone rolls over on the cot there. Is someone in there? I could use some water. Soon. We're gonna go back.
Wow. Okay. It's all good.
We've all been there,
Spit in his mouth.
You open up your locker,
Get my
and
locker.
your effects are in there. You find a couple spare pairs of clothes, like a nice hardy jacket that you've used when you've gone into colder climates, some tools, some of the things that Bison promised you in terms of resources, healing potions, antitoxins, antidotes for certain sort of poisons and things, because you don't know what kind of vegetation or sort of wildlife you might encounter out there. A lot of gear related to climbing, because the karsts have a number of sort of, the ground is very much up and down, a lot of pillars and rocks and cliffs and bluffs. So a lot of equipment related to that. So you have a number of kind of supplies and things. A couple types of poison as well, just in case you need to get yourself out of a tight spot. So.
Does that look like enough supplies to get us out, or should I grab more from the cages?
It's a pretty decent pack of supplies. You were hoping for more because you expected Bison. Like, Bison hasn't given you everything that you asked for yet.
Right.
Not that he is reneging on his deal. He just hasn't happened yet. So you've got a decent haul of supplies. You look around. There's other lockers you could possibly break into. They're locked, but.
I think it's more important. If we have enough to get us started,
No, yeah,
then
definitely enough to get you started.
get out and go to Peter.
You now got like a full backpack, the little map sack there, another bag kind of under your arm there. Give one last look and I'm so thirsty.
This poor guy.
Water rations and EFD.
Hydrate or die.
Thirsty kid.
head back in the direction of the stairs. After gathering whatever you can, start to move up the stairs. And it's at this point that the next sort of phase of the plan is coming into thought here. You're sort of reaching maybe Bison's office and talking to Peter Moreland. So give me a perception check as you get to the top of the stairs.
I don't know why I always check. It's -1.
2. There's a bit of conversation.
Guys.
There's a conversation that you can hear happening in the next room over where it sounds like without being able to hear what she's saying, it sounds like Nani's a little bit sort of retelling the tale of her capture. You can't hear exactly what she's saying, so you don't know if she's making it up, like if she's lying or if she's, saying things that actually happened. But it seems like she very much is sort of telling people about what happened, giving them the details and stuff. And as you peek sort of up over the threshold of the window there to see that, it looks like probably on purpose, Nani has asked to or sat herself down by the wagons on the far side. So there's kind of a semicircle of people around, all kind of listening, sort of looking at her as she's doing it. And there's the cask of wine. A number of people have wooden cups that they sort of refill at the cask as they're listening to the story there.
She's so smart.
And you look up to your right, and you see the door closed in the office up there.
Time to go.
Time to go. Give me a stealth check with advantage.
Oh, dearest.
19.
Yeah.
Tiptoe your way up the stairs. As Nani's sort of there, sort of cup in hand, talking about the story that she's telling, she looks over and goes back to her conversation, but you sort of make eye contact ever so briefly there, sort of in a cinematic way, like over her shoulder. You can see Ace moving up the stairs in the background as the rest of the people continue to talk. You swing back in the direction of the heathen.
The other thing I want to do while we're waiting is take off Morna's hat and put it climb up on the table and reach into the middle.
Oh, you can reach the middle.
Oh, okay.
It's a massive.
My ass is in the air, knees on the table.
Oh,
And I'm just placing Morna's hat right in the center of the table.
Okay.
TC, Doc knows this, but there's a lot of ways that we use manipulation in these meetings back home. If it seems like I'm losing my temper toward Bison, I just want to make sure he thinks he's winning. Don't worry, I'm in full control of my faculties. If it seems like I'm going over the top, I'm going fine.
Looks like he's taken on the bad, what did you call it? Enforcer.
Yes.
Oh,
we shall be we shall be the cooling salve to his hot.
I just feel that
I'll sit on deck and listen until you fucknuts mess it up, and then I'll come in.
All right.
I'll stand by the door.
All of a sudden, fucknuts very much a part of Doxley's
Oh my god, I love
I'm adopting it. Adopting it.
Nice to meet you, FNet.
I might need your bad cop. I'm just gonna be.
The emotional cop.
Yeah, that's who I'll be. I'm gonna be the
Please.
emotional cop.
All right.
God, what are these cops you talking?
A little bit of time passes. And then through the muffled sort of walls of the room, muffled considerably by the room's insulation, the design of it, you hear some heavy footsteps approaching in the hallway. And it's followed very quickly by a singular, forceful on the door that's more like a punch than a knock. Like he doesn't tap multiple times, there's just a and then waits.
So we'll take the doorknob. Is it a
It's a
pull?
pull.
for her?
It's a push.
Yeah.
She pushes.
Right into his fucking face.
And gracefully
One way to detain him.
open the door.
You turn the knob, and without further invitation, Bison is already stepping through the door as you're opening it. And he's wearing the same loose hanging clothes, boxy spectacles that you've always seen him in. He's flanked by no one. It's just Bison. He takes a quick peek into each corner of the room just to make sure there's no one in here that he can't see right away. And he scans your faces just to sort of see who he's dealing with. And he produces a handkerchief and unloads a few kind of phlegmy hacking coughs. Which prompts you to notice that he also seems a little flushed in the face, his cheeks and forehead glistening with a little bit of sweat. Almost like a little bit under the weather in some ways, but doesn't stop him from very emphatically gnawing on a strip of dried jerky that he has. Sure. Takes a walk around the room like a couple steps. Now, sometimes you receive a message that surprises you. Like, when my brother, after a lifetime of sin, wrote to me to tell me he was joining the seminary. Of course, most things make sense in time. Like when I later found out, it was because he was chasing Priestess Tail in Paran. Now, I'm assuming something similar is about to happen here. You helping me make sense of this message that you've given me regarding, whatever it's regarding. But before we get to that, I don't suppose any of you know what Ace is at this particular moment, do you?
Who? Sorry, I can't hear between your gnawing of that.
Oh! I don't suppose you know what Ace is, do you?
You don't suppose you know where Ace is?
No, we do not.
Alright, what's the message?
Would you care to have a seat and maybe a drink? You might need it.
He takes one of the glasses, takes the bottle.
Delightful. Cheers, and to what it's worth. Bison, the message spoke of another statue. Mm-hmm. I'm not privy to giving out this information, but seeing as only one other person knows what we found at your site, we figured we should come to you. So, we found another statue.
Found another statue.
I don't suppose you heard about the goblins causing mayhem all throughout the Downwield.
I don't know about the goblins.
Where we found the goblins is where we found the statue.
There's supposed to be a couple more of you, is there not? The skinny one with the poncho and tall one that scowls like I fought at their mother's funeral.
Yeah. I suppose there is supposed to be.
Alright, second statue, goblins, yeah.
That's where we found the statue, and these goblins had magic. Very much tied to what we found near the first statue.
Yeah, what you told me you found at the statue, yeah. Nobody walked out of there shooting lightning out of their hands, so, suppose I just have your word, yeah?
You went back down. After the statue was cleared out, you had people go back down in there and investigate. You found nothing.
I had people coming in and out of there for weeks on end, and not a single one of my people came back out with any kind of magic.
Perhaps the goblins knew something we didn't, but they had magic clear as day.
And they didn't learn that from however the fuck someone else learns magic.
TC's gonna stand up. Hit me. As hard as you can. I don't have any soothing tonic for you, but this might make you feel better. Hit me. And I'll put my hands at my sides. And I'll use the charm of balance.
Okay.
Immediately.
Go ahead and read the text for that. Just so we
When a creature you can see within 60 feet of you damages you, you can use your reaction to deal an amount of force damage to that creature equal to half the damage you took.
Okay, he does one bludgeoning damage. Let's wrap
So
it up. It's fine, you know.
negligible, but
Yeah.
he feels it. Yes. And I stand there still with my hands at my sides. That, sir. My mother taught me many things, but she did not teach me that. That I got near the statue.
Don't see that every day, do you? All right. I'm going to...
Forgive me, I haven't... That's the first time I've used it.
I'm going to ask you something that will frustrate you.
That's everything, but go for it.
it has to be asked. See, Brunkhollow attracts all kinds of curious and clever people. Again, like I ask about the goblins, how do I know that you were not already able to do that, and now you're using the statues as some kind of bogeyman?
Listen, if you don't think that
I
this
wasn't
is...
asking you. I was asking him. Convince me.
What is your lead on these statues that you have such a willingness to give them a pass as meaning nothing? You know so much about them that they are so innocuous.
I don't know much about them at all, but what I do know is that my statue's been enjoying its nice new riverside view for a couple of days now. And the walls have not come crashing down around us. There is no great unraveling or sound of clerics on the approach. Does that not ease your mind as it does so many others?
If I may. Bison, I don't care if you believe us or not.
Refreshing?
Great. Now that we're kind of on the same page on that one, this wasn't an attempt to convince you of anything, but an attempt to give you the opportunity to figure out how to tell the town that the reason why these goblins have this magic is because you gave them the mines.
I gave them the mines.
We found correspondence between the goblins while we were in their little lair, crediting you as the person who gifted them that land in exchange for keeping your mines out of their business. So, if you want, you can have the opportunity to figure out how you want to swing that with the town, but eventually Izzy and the Monteros are going to have to know about it as well.
You see, there's the turn I was waiting for. Because I searched myself for some reason why you would make something like this up. Couldn't find a particularly convincing one. I suppose that this is the part where I ask, how much, right? How much? How much to keep your mouth shut?
We're just
until
letting
I
you
get
know.
my people out there to retrieve it.
We're just letting you know.
Out of the
we
kindness
know.
of your hearts.
Bison, it doesn't hurt to have a fucking favor from you every now and again. But you know, if you want to give us a couple of gold, but it's up to you.
I suppose it do nothing to remind you that panic in Brunkhollow benefits exactly no one, except maybe the Clinkers.
I would agree with that, and I have no interest in that.
And it's just why we are sitting here with you in this room and not shouting it to everyone we cross in the street.
Sounds like you were on your way to Izzy's, if I didn't answer the call.
Well, you're just
If.
a difficult man to get a hold of.
If.
I told you guys. Anyone but Bison would benefit from this information more that we gave willingly. And I think we should have gone to Izzy, or the Monteros, or literally anyone else, but we came to you, Bison, because you're the only one who knows about this other statue and what we told you. I'm sorry for giving you a benefit of trust, which I, for one, was not for.
Yeah, you have to admit, when we last spoke, I rubbed you the wrong way. And then I turned you over and I rubbed you that wrong way too.
I'm surprised you remember that. Seems you're fucking everyone, left and right. I thought it was just another one of your wiles.
Illien, let the man think.
You know, not only does the word of a flea bag weigh less to the general populace than pixie shit, I made that deal specifically to lessen the ever-increasing attacks on the hard-working people of Brunkhollow. Mungbeans can sort their own shit out, and without me, the average prospector would be suffocating from fear and paranoia.
Well, goodwill only goes a certain way. The result is that many suffered, and some died, dealing with that result.
Those goblin legions made their way all the way to Brunkhollow. killed a guard. It was not contained.
I'd like you all to give me persuasion checks as a group persuasion.
Okay,
All right, buddy.
Okay.
let's go, guys.
Persuasion.
I'm honoring it.
Twinsies.
22.
22.
14.
Nice job, guys.
I got a minus 2 persuasion. This is shit.
A second statue, even if it's nothing, it's likely to ruffle a few feathers. So, what's the next step here? What? You say nothing, and I go get the statue. Is that it? And I owe you a favor. And it's just out there for you to claim at any time.
We came to you, Bison, to see what you thought.
I imagine this means that there are more.
I suppose it's possible. And
And the first sniff any of us here get, we come back to this room.
Whether you believe it or not, Bison, there's magic surrounding these statues. They are important relics of some sort.
Give me an insight check.
15.
15. As he listens to sort of what you say, and you see him sort of grabbing at the whiskey bottle again, there's something in the back of your head kind of, as you look at the expression on his face change ever so slightly, that he not only believes you about the magic, but that maybe, and this could have happened since you last spoke to him at his dig site, he's heard of someone getting magic from either the dig site or somewhere that isn't just like he has been playing it off largely as like anyone who's practicing magic, they could have learned that like how anyone learns magic, like a wizard, like study through that kind of thing. But that something about that rings true to him, so like familiar, not just taking your word for it, like he might have seen it or heard of it or dealt with someone personally.
I guess whether you believe it or not, we'll figure something out as a group, whether you're in on it or not on the next meeting.
if it was up to me, once I've dealt with certain other issues that are plaguing me at the moment, I would send a team over there, and I'll go get it, just like I got the first one. Any objections?
Are you not afraid of moving these things? If they do cause magic, which they do.
He obviously isn't. He's already done it once.
I know, but now that we know more.
I'll say this. We felled those 2 goblin leaders. They are divided and leaderless now. But it was no small feat, and I'll look to the middle of the table to Morna's hat there.
And the final variable in this equation is bringing another statue out into the eyes of everyone. What will that do with the clinkers?
If they think it's just another statue like the first one, I imagine it doesn't do much. If the clinkers think that touching the statue grants you some magic power, then yeah, I think the swift hand of Piran will come down around us. Which is why I say, get ahead of it, bring the statue up, bring it to town, and show them once again that we have nothing to fear.
It pains me to say so, Bison, but you did very well bringing the first statue back in one piece. But this is a far out statue. What happens if it doesn't come back in one piece? We ruin this relic, this magic, what it contains if it erupts.
I'll try not to break it. I don't know what you want me to say.
You're ridiculous, Bison.
I haven't seen this place. Is it not accessible? Can I not get a wagon there?
It is in the heart of what was at one point their most fortified lair.
Let's assume I can get past the goblins. Can I get the statue out?
You'd need another large pulley device, and then some way to get it off of a mountaintop.
And it also lies in deep water.
In water, through a series of caves, up a mountain, and through goblin territory. Heavy losses.
And then through
Long.
Blinker territory as well, actually. I didn't think about that.
Right.
And we fought some mud elementals. We fought many things getting to and from.
I know that the downwheel is dangerous. So what then? You want to leave it there? I feel like I had this conversation with the people of Brunkhollow. Deja vu. I had it 2 weeks ago.
But now that you know more, why don't you just go study it? You're the only one aside from us that knows it exists now. This could be your secret to help us study what this is. Leave it where it be, but get a boon from it.
And I'm supposed to do that by just walking into goblin territory.
Send someone you trust. This ace.
Okay. I don't know what to say.
I don't think we have any answers for you, Bison. This isn't really our territory, and I don't know if you should be making this decision alone either, honestly.
But you came to me alone. So, you trust me to make the decision alone, or you want something from me, huh? Which one is it?
We want it. You, Doc, please.
Having a favor from you isn't so bad, but I do think that we are all a little out of our depth here.
And is there someone you know that we can consult? Because we tried that. I had your friend come in, take a look.
Consult about what?
Came to look at my statue.
No, I know, but what else to consult about?
I'm asking you, you're saying go send someone, take a look. Who am I sending? Do we have some other expert that we've yet, a resource we've yet to tap?
I don't believe so, Bison. But send some people to start beginning. I'm sure these goblins aren't amazing magic wielders innately.
True enough.
We can figure it out one puzzle piece at a time if you'll have some patience.
I honestly think it's best if they are left alone. And while you are out there, while your digs are going, we look for more.
See if we can get more info. Find a third, find a fourth, find an eighth. Put it all together.
All right. If I find another one, I'll let you know.
That sounds good to me. Is everybody happy?
Absolutely delighted.
All of us that made it back.
Something happened to your hat.
The wood elf skipped town. Our fifth companion died in that cave. Felling those goblins that you helped prop up.
Oops.
All right, you can fucking leave. I think this is it. Thanks, Bison, for your time.
This has been constructive, I think.
Good night, Bison.
I say it not to leave her death at your feet, but just to put on you the gravity of the situation and how much we have already invested and lost.
Give me a persuasion check.
Ooh.
6. You know what?
Eastball? Eastball?
Inspiration.
Eastball! Oh my god, it's low.
It's the same roll.
It's still a 3. It's meant to be. It's meant to be.
Anthony, you don't give a shit about Morn.
How many times? That's not true.
Well, if I find or hear of another statue, let you know.
I think that was more than enough
Was that
time.
enough
I
time?
think that was more than enough time.
Fucking, it better
Everyone's
be.
like,
I got so lost in the conversation, but we just had to let it go on as long as possible.
Seriously.
Yeah, we kept him here for a while.
I think.
I cannot believe he didn't bring anyone with him.
What do you mean?
I mean, the only thing he wants to protect is back there.
I suppose. I suppose.
Oh, that went better than I thought it would.
How did it
Honestly.
look when I gave him back the little?
Yeah.
Was that neat?
You know, you could be good Gorionon talker, you know, in these little meetings. You did well. I don't know how much you were trying to manipulate, but you seemed to be doing well.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'll go speak with Liam. I might need your help to square away the rooms.
You need some gold?
Yeah, I don't know what he charges.
Okay. I hope not more than 45 gold.
Let me talk with him.
All right,
All right.
brother.
heading back downstairs.
Yeah.
Group heads back down. As you get down to the lower floor, you sort of make eye contact with Teddy across the room. He sort of gives you a friendly nod. He's a ways away from the room, but he sort of gives you a nod, a little tip of the head, goes back to the tables there. As you guys are moving around, you see Liam sort of over back by the poker table still. And also at this time, as you guys start to walk, are you heading over to Liam to sort of square away? You head in that direction. At the door to the Lucky Heathen, Annabel, you stand there and you're not entirely sure what you're looking for, but you feel like you know it when you'll see it, and there it is. A hat that you recognize.
Oh, shit.
From a while ago, but you know, it's not anything fancy, but it's distinctive enough. And you just see someone, first you just see the hat kind of bobbing through the crowd. And then it's a couple people, like you see between a couple people, and there's someone wearing it that is not Morna Ishti. So you guys are heading over to Liam. So you clock that, but we'll follow them for a second. Finish with your meeting.
Yes, do you mind if I just pull you away from the table slightly? Not secretive, but just to talk.
Have a drink, please. A couple people kind of move away.
Thank you. Just a moment of your time. The room was lovely. Thank you so much.
Of course.
What would I owe you for something like that?
Nothing for the room.
Thank you, Liam. Perhaps we can have a meetup soon. I know we're getting busy, but maybe in the morning. I'd just like to have a chat with you at some point.
I would like that. Feel free to come by.
Okay.
Maybe while you're sleeping, think about what you might titillate me with about your meeting, even if it's just some small detail.
Certainly. I mean, it's your establishment. I assume your ears are open to it.
I just like to know.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Liam. Okay, I'll see you in the morning.
Good evening.
Good evening.
He's having a great night.
He saw Bison come in and he was like,
This boss is hot.
Yeah.
So the three of you reconverge after talking, and you can see them from a ways away.
I'm gonna wander over. I've got to bob through the crowd. a
Yeah,
little.
through the crowd.
Everybody's a
A
little
couple
bit
times.
taller.
There's kind of some big cheers. You have to kind of move out of the way as some sort of things get thrown. And
Oh, the art. The art.
Yeah.
is
art
up
is
there.
up there.
I think it's been up there.
It's been up there for like 8 hours.
Well,
No,
fuck me. I got excited.
I'm gonna go right up to TC and I'm gonna say, "Excuse me, sir.
What? Hello?
Yeah, you got Daddy Ishtig's hat on. Where'd you get that from?"
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Annabel Malay.
TC.
Oh, I heard of you.
Oh,
I seen your sleeves.
Ah.
And who might these companions be?
Hi, I'm Illien Tyrun.
Oh, Tyrun, my goodness.
Nice to meet you.
Tyrun, oh, the princelings of the Gorionon in the flesh. How exciting.
That's right. Sure, yeah.
I got genuine royalty right in front of me.
Annabelle, forgive us. You seem to know so much about us. We know so little about you.
Of course, of course. No, about that hat. I'm friends with Morna, and that's her daddy's hat.
Yes.
So I
Perhaps
wondered if you'd
you
seen her
have,
around.
Let's find ourselves in a little less public place, perhaps, if you'd like to have a private conversation like that.
Happy to. Didn't know it was private, but happy to chat. Where shall we go?
Do you want to talk to her, and I'm gonna go make sure that other things for our evening have panned out the way we wanted them to.
Where can I meet you?
I don't know.
I'll
Meet me at
Just
home.
shout my name in the streets. Yeah. I'll find you.
see you at the Paramount here soon.
All right.
Come.
Where shall we go?
Ha-
I don't have enough
have
time
a
for
drink.
dinner.
Have a drink with us at the bar here.
All right.
I mean, from what I remember, the bar is not like the happening area. The tables are the happening area.
Yeah, I mean, there
Kinda,
are.
you can
It's
kinda-
pretty packed here right now in general.
Okay.
There's probably like a couple empty poker tables near the back if you wanted to take a seat there.
Okay.
You might have to like at least pretend to play cards, otherwise someone might be like, "Hey, this is
Yeah.
for gaming, not for just sitting."
Why not head for a jaunt outside?
Let's take a evening stroll, sure.
Sure. A turn about the town. I love to promenade.
Join us.
All right.
Start walking out.
Take a
It's
little
all
stroll.
a little ominous, I think.
Leave the noise of the Lucky Heathen behind you as you step out into the thoroughfare. Cool breeze hitting your face once more.
So you say you were close with Morna?
I knew her from Redbriar, where she's from. I got an auntie there.
And you knew her family. Seems you know that hat's origination.
Sure did. That's Anus's.
Well, forgive me for donning what has belonged to someone that you know well, or knew. The news is not good, Annabel.
Please tell me quickly, or I shall die of anticipation.
We come back from the downwheel today. Morna was a close confidant and partner of ours these last very few days we've been here. And she did not return from the downwheel today.
Oh. Ow.
I am sorry to report.
What happened to her?
It just gets rough out there.
One of
Just gets rough out
Have
there.
you been to the Merc Hall? Have you seen recently they had a very large, very important bounty, the Goblin Raiders.
Oh, yeah, I heard tell about that.
Well, we took it on.
Gods, does Haskell know?
I'm not aware of who that is.
Who?
You never... Sorry, let's back up. You're right. I know so much about you and you so little about me.
Truly.
Yes.
When did she arrive in town?
We've been
When
here
did you all arrive in town?
less than a week we've been here.
5 days, 6
Almost
days?
a week. Next morning will be. Oh,
Just
wait.
barely a week.
Yeah.
All right, and... Okay, and she wasn't with a man named Haskell Pips?
No, just us in the wagons with Bernard. Wait, no, not with Bernard. With Baker, Mackland.
Ah. Okay. That throws me for a loop a little bit.
You expected her to travel here with someone.
Yeah. See, she tell you what happened in Redbriar?
No, it was just that was something written on her armor that, we found out today.
Well, gods. I mean, please enlighten me.
What would you like to know? Of course, if you're a close friend, I'll tell you anything I did know about Morna.
Yeah, that'd be great.
She's a stonemason. I'm sure you know that.
Yeah, I know that.
And she had 2 weapons, her eagle wall and her war pick.
Oh my god.
I don't know if this is what you're looking for.
No, but I love it.
Okay.
What'd she tell you about herself?
I'll say this.
Does the name Haskell Pips mean nothing to you?
She did not come to town with any spare gloves that we knew of. Nor was she here to meet any or find any.
Okay. All right. She didn't tell you what happened in Redbriar.
No.
All right, then I shall do it.
I know that it was a sad past. I know her brother passed.
Yeah. Redbriar's the town we was in. My auntie, I stayed with them for a while. Know the Ishtiks. We'd go on hikes. Nice family. Morna really played the part of a perfect daughter, I'd say. And, she, well, I got sent back to town, went to go find my auntie. Town's blown up by a cleric. And only names I saw on these headstones that weren't there was Morna and Haskell. I assume that was Morna's handiwork. Stonemason and all.
The entire town.
Oh, yeah. Clerics ain't a precision type, you know? They're more, if you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail kind of folks. So everybody was dead, my auntie included, all Morna's family. I assume she and Haskell left together. Haskell was probably, I guess both of them was probably the target of the cleric. I don't know how they got out, but...
Haskell and her were close?
Sounds like a good reason to come to Brunkhollow.
Well, you know, I never thought they was close. She was always hanging out over there. Mostly because the brother thought Haskell hung the moon, but,
Her brother did.
yeah, Quinn. So she was always over there collecting him, and I just assumed that, you know, I got it wrong. They was in cahoots together. Like I said, she always acted to me to be real pious-like and put together. But then to come to Brunkhollow, and with Haskell, well, if she wasn't with Haskell, maybe she was looking for him.
I wish I would have known and she confided at least some of that in me. That's a great heavy burden to bear alone.
I guess. Sorry, I don't
You
mean
knew
to-
Haskell as well.
Yeah, I knew all of them. I was in a big town. Couple hundred people, maybe less. But she, she didn't say anything what they was up to, or say, fuck, they didn't come in on the same fucking wagon?
Well, if they were being hunted by clerics, is it
Yeah,
possible
maybe
he didn't even
split up.
make it here?
No, I know he's here.
You know he's in town, in Brunkhollow.
Yeah, he's in Fort Contrition. I assume they got arrested together. Fuck.
I see.
Well,
I'm sorry, this is probably a lot of information to take in. I'm sorry about her passing.
yeah, I'm sorry too.
You know anyone else that any other connections she might have nearby, or
I was always closer to Haskell, if I'm being honest. I assume because you were wearing her hat that you might be closer to her, but it sounds like I got more information than you do.
in a way?
She tell you about any of this? She tell you about magic?
I don't know.
Would you rather not talk on the thoroughfare?
Yeah. What?
Can I
No.
gather anything about their
What
language?
specifically? I mean, yes, but
I'm trying to
what are you trying to
see
pick
if
up
they're
on?
like lying about like
Okay,
information.
yeah, give me an
that
insight
they
check. Like that maybe they know more than they're letting
Yeah.
on. Yeah, sure, give me an insight check.
That is 21.
21.
22.
22. I would say specifically you pick up on TC's behavior just a little, stands out a little bit. You're not entirely sure what that means, but just that maybe, you know, he's also wearing her hat, that they maybe had a slightly closer connection than the others, and that he does seem genuinely sort of surprised by some of the information you're giving him, but that maybe he just knows a little bit more about why she was here or what happened to her before she left. So, yeah, so you pick up on specifically that TC seems to be showing a certain kind of interest that's different.
This Haskell,
Yeah.
someone that was that close to Morna. You say you know him.
Yeah.
He'd speak to you.
Absolutely, but he's in Fort Contrition, so a hard man to get a hold of.
And if we had a way of getting to him,
Would make me a very happy woman. Now, I confess, as we're sort of strolling,
You guys have been kind of making a slow loop.
circle.
Yeah, through the you walked west up toward the bridge, but before crossing the bridge, you kind of curled back around. So here I can even
just linking arms and walking in an exact
Yeah.
circle around each other.
guys,
Yeah.
you left
Shall
the
we
lucky
take a turn
heathen.
about the room?
You kind of walked up this way, and then as you got right before you got to the bridge, you kind of circled around behind Bernard's boarding. So now you're moving back in this direction.
The only other person I know that Mona was close to, that would be anywhere close to here, was Josie. And if we're kind of over there,
You
I'll
just
motion
passed
over
it, yeah.
towards her. But she never mentioned you.
Oh,
How
she
do I
wouldn't know
know?
I was in town. I didn't know she was. I came here a couple days ago. I assumed when I found out Haskell was locked up, she was too. I stopped looking for her. I assumed they was together. Now I know what they say about assuming.
You were saying you must confess a moment ago.
You got that?
I did.
Please, confess. With the confessing.
Your names were not unknown to me.
Yeah.
You
Because,
said that.
well, I found out you might have a way to get in to the prison. And I am a very resourceful sort. If you're down a woman,
And how do we know that you are not already of that said fort? Plumbing our knowledge of the place.
sorry, what?
Wait, you
You heard what I said. Are you plumbing me, woman?
I feel quite plumb.
I feel plumbed.
Plumbing's ain't really my thing.
You say that we have access to the prison. Is that because you know I'm of the Tyrun nature? That doesn't hold any sway here.
I know you got some relatives in the prison. I could maybe help you out. Saying hi. But most importantly, I know you got a red team mission going on. And I'm trying to see if I can scoot on in with your crew.
You are a well-informed young lady.
Where
I
did you-
really am. I've got a lot of skills and a perfect set of tits. It's not really a skill, but it is an asset.
Where did you hear this?
Where the
Where did you
Where did you hear the information?
Oh, I got the
Where did you hear the information?
You can look if
Where are you?
I'm above that. I'm above that. I'm good.
you really are princely over there.
He's blushing.
Where did I learn this information? I got my sources. The point is, I could maybe help you out, seeing your family while we're doing the little red team, if you'll have me. And you, sir, I hear you got a little issue in the butcher shop. And did you enjoy my sermon?
I believe I love.
I could help you out in that arena.
We.
You
What if
don't
this
have to
red
hide anything
team-
from me. I can tell something's going on.
I'm just saying.
Whatever this red team might be, we may or may not be the arbiters of that. We may not be able to make additions and subtractions.
Well, perhaps you ought to try.
Makes me uneasy.
And she gives him
talking
kind
to
of a big smile.
you. This makes me uneasy. I don't like someone knowing this much information without me knowing anything. Let me think about
Ask
it.
me anything you like. I'm an open book.
Why? Who told you about this red team
I
situation?
told you I got my contacts and I can't reveal them right this moment. So
When-
ask me something else.
Why do you know the Tyruns as well as you do? Are you from Paran?
I ain't. I'm from Saugus, but I've been all over. Spent some time with relatives in Kettlefield. It's hard not to learn about the Tyruns in Paran. You guys run the place, like I said. Anybody with a set of ears has heard about the Goryonon and the Tyrun name.
Kettlefield is just outside of Braun. It's like a suburb of Braun.
Well, let's just say not everyone here is as close to Paran, so keep the Goreonan talk low.
That's fine. I can be subtle.
Okay.
You are also one of the only people that know that Mona is dead.
Oh, gods. Well, if it just happened today, I suppose that's true.
Not that it needs to be kept a secret, but we were hoping to speak to Josie personally.
That's fine. I don't know her. Wouldn't wish to interfere with that. I'm just saying I think I could be a real resource to you. Being as resourceful as I am.
Maybe. How are we getting? I don't even know how we're getting word to the prison.
Oh,
Somebody
I actually,
has been.
I know a gentleman. Gideon is waiting in the Paramount right now, and he's actually looking to speak to Morna. Going to be real disappointed that she's dead, but I'm sure he'll give it to somebody else in her party. He wasn't going to talk to me though.
So you want us to vouch for you?
No, you don't have to talk to him. I don't think he's the man who makes the decisions, and if he is, he ain't gonna be a fan of me.
What did you do?
I just talked to him, but he didn't really like that.
Yeah, you have a way of getting underneath the skin a little bit.
Unfortunately, I have heard that before. Been kicked out of every place I ever been.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that.
No,
Impressive.
Yeah, that sucks.
No, don't be.
Brunkhollow seems like a great place for people who get kicked out of everywhere else.
We'll
so-
see if I get kicked out of here. But my aunties and uncles aren't here, so more than likely, nobody here to kick me out.
Annabel, where can we reach back out to you once we've talked to the rest of our team?
I'm staying at the butcher shop, but I'm happy to meet you at the Paramount in the morning.
Where will we be?
We'll come to you.
At the butcher shop. You think you're
Shit.
welcome there?
All right.
How about I come to you?
Late morning.
Sure.
Question for you. Are you well informed with the butcher shop, this butcher shop?
I'm extremely well informed.
Someone said I killed someone there, and that's not true.
Who killed someone there?
Someone else. But not me.
It could really help
Yeah?
if I knew who the someone else was.
We may be able to name a name, but speaking of names,
There's no
when's the
name.
last time you saw Court?
Oh, I didn't really know the fella, but when is the last time I saw him?
Like probably a couple days ago. You heard from Bernine about the incident,
Yeah.
but you weren't there for it, so you haven't seen him personally in 2 days, probably.
I heard about the incident, but I haven't seen him in a couple days. And I wasn't there during the time of the incident when you did or did not.
I did
kill a
not.
fella.
I did not.
Then let us test your willingness to keep our multitude of secrets at the moment, including Morna. On the way back in from the downwield, we saw Court hanging dead. No idea who might have done it.
The
I
clinkers.
know who might have done it?
You too.
The clinkers have him in custody
That's
now.
news.
Wow.
I don't think it's called custody when you're a corpse.
They have his body.
And you don't wish for me to share that Court is dead?
Maybe not yet. Maybe we'd like to use that information as we will.
I can keep that for you. I think it's a very nice show of good faith to tell me that.
And if no one else knows, then we shall know that you are the only other one who knows.
Great. Nobody else might know something and spread that around.
I mean, I don't think the Clinkers are coming to town to...
They probably aren't.
Do you want to... We should probably head to the Paramount if this Gideon is waiting for us.
Right, we have to check in about that.
Yeah, you should. You should talk to him. I'm just saying that. Don't write me off.
I don't think that's possible.
I'm just having trouble seeing... If we get you in on this red team, why... I don't know you. What if you blow the whole thing for us? What if I don't know how skilled you are in certain areas if you're just not worth bringing? Sorry for my bluntness.
Fair enough.
I think he wants you to do a cartwheel for him or something right here.
Yeah, I think you'll find I'm very skilled, and I'm gonna minor illusion in my hands. I'm gonna make it look like just like a ball of thorns that's here and just like floating, and then I'm gonna push it away.
How did you do that?
Oh no, you've
And you
activated him.
and you probably shouldn't do that out in the open like this.
Probably not.
I need to know how you did that. All of it.
Well, I ain't gonna tell you unless you're gonna take me on this red mission.
All right, we'll see you in the morning.
Alien God!
What I wanted to hear.
See you in the morning.
DC's like, yeah.
So much if you give a mouse a cookie.
Exactly.
A pleasure. A pleasure.
Indeed. I'll see you bright and early. And
Yes.
I'm gonna.
A little later than that.
All right. I'll see you a little later.
Early. Just early, not bright.
I am always bright. And I tip my hat, and I'm gonna scurry down the thoroughfare.
And as mysteriously as she kind of appeared at the Lucky Heathen, she...
I didn't like that at
What
all.
the fuck? Did I just tell her everything I knew about what happened today?
Yep.
And we're going to pivot over to...
Let's wind it back.
Yeah,
15
a
minutes.
little bit. Wind it back to excavation.
Check of a lifetime.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You get to the top of the stairs, listening in the background to Nani regaling the rest of EOD with her tales of the downwheel. And you get up to the top there, and the door, you give it a loose turn just quietly, and it does have some give, so it's not locked. Give one look back over your shoulder. The door swings open. You find yourself in another room that you have frequented over, during your time within the cusp here, within Brunkhollow. It's Bison's bedraggled office that he insists has kind of a method to the madness here, but it's the bane of all his accountants and record keepers that he employs. The shelves are stuffed to the brim with ledgers. They have lists and reports. There's no one seated in here at the moment, but you can hear in your head, even though it's not happening, that wretched squeaking that his desk chair makes when he kind of is thinking and he's kind of moving back and forth in it. There's a smell of stale sweat, possibly from all the bodies that have been moving in and out of this office today. Like, normally he might have 1 or 2 people, but like with all that's going on, there were times here today where there was probably 10 people in his office all crammed in here. The one person that is still present in the office is a half-elven man with a lean kind of climber's build and a bandana around his neck. It's Peter Moreland. And he looks up at you, and he has these kind of very exhausted, sunken eyes that quickly widen as he registers who's walking through the door. He's not physically anchored to the stool that he's sitting on. He's not like, being kept there in place, but he kind of may as well be. He doesn't even rise to greet you because you can see that it's been like pounded into him, like, don't you dare get up off this stool. So even though he's like surprised to see you, he sort of makes a move to get up, but doesn't get up. He stays seated in his seat there.
Ace.
Oh, Peter.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
I only heard Nani's voice down below, and I feared the worst.
Yeah, she's back. I'm back. And I need to talk to you, and we don't have that much time, okay?
Okay.
I need you to give me Bison's key. And I know all the implications of what I'm saying, okay? And here's what I'm gonna offer you in exchange. A way out of Brunkhollow, and a position, possibly, with the Gore Onan.
I'm sorry. Are you serious?
Deadly serious.
What do you want with Bison's key?
I got people who need it, who are gonna do something to help this town.
The same people that took Bruno's key.
Bison is at his wit's end. He's running out of people. He's throwing people out windows. There is nothing left to stay by his side.
I feel like we've stayed by his side through worse than someone being thrown out a window.
Peter. Magic is coming to Brunkhollow. I saw it, and it is coming. And you know what follows magic? Clerics. So you can be here when the shit goes down if you want, or you can go back to Perron and be set up there. Real nice.
Make a persuasion check.
Doggy.
I feel so calm right now.
Wait. 17.
I mean, I have it on me. Still. There was talk of having it hidden until we could discern what this was all about and who was coming for it. But Bison, he feared that there was a leak within EOD, that someone on the inner circle would divulge its whereabouts and it would be easier to take it that way. And then Bison wanted to take it and hide it himself, somewhere away from EOD. But someone posited the idea that perhaps this was the robber's intent, to get Bison away from his security and those people that he trusts, thus perhaps walking him into an ambush. There's so many mind games going on. I mean,
Yeah, aren't you sick of it?
people trying to think so many steps ahead that we're just going in circles. I'm quite exhausted.
How about a nice sleep at Bernard's? And we get you out on the first wagon tomorrow morning. You know the name Tyrun?
Yes.
They're gonna give you a favor to bring to the Goryonon. They're well connected.
You get to go home.
I know it hasn't always been easy for you there. But you go back with this favor and you'll be set up in more of a position of power than you were.
My stepfather was named a votary of the People's Ministry, and well, after he was in a position of some respect, my line of work, I would like to go home. I would like to go home.
We can make that happen. We just have to go now, and I need that key.
Bison is not an angel, but there... Who is it that wants what Bison has in his vault? Who am I handing this over to?
I can't speak for the vault, but I can speak to where the key is going. You know those idiot flea bags running around?
Yes.
Damn it. They actually got something smart going on behind them. And they need that key to make it happen.
A bargaining chip.
Exactly.
More mind games.
But we don't have to be here for that. Things are falling apart, Peter.
Things are falling apart. Do you remember when we first came here? There's so much promise, you know? It seemed like we'd found something that couldn't find anywhere else. It turned out it was just the same people, the same politics. I was thinking about...
As he's talking, I also kind of want to be scanning the papers on Bison's desk. Just to see, I don't expect there to be anything top secret, but just if there's any information of note that I might be able to grab for these guys.
Give me a perception check. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. She's just going through, like...
Yeah. Oh, it's so sad.
Oh, yeah, home?
Perception?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a 3.
Yeah, nothing
Sorry.
that immediate. It seems like really standard, like reports of what they got
Okay.
from the mines. It's
Yeah.
like, we got this much mithril from blah, blah, blah. Yeah, nothing in particular. You trust them
I do.
to get me home.
I do. Nani does as well. She's coming with us.
Coming back to Braun.
Us. We're heading a different direction, but we are all getting out of this town.
Nani too, huh? I don't want to be stuck with Bruno. He's a bore.
I hold my hand out.
Give me one more persuasion check.
Oh my god, come on.
Boom.
One little
on.
bump. One
Come
little
on,
bump.
come on, please.
19.
You can see his hand sort of shaking as he produces it from his pocket. Puts it in your hand. And as he lets go, he sort of just sort of breathes quick and heavy.
Thank you, Peter. Now we have to run, okay? Can you stand? Do you need help?
I can stand.
Okay.
He gets up. He sort of, as he gets up the stool,
Doesn't matter. keep looking forward, okay?
And you get to the door, crack it open, you see Nani sort of, as she sees the door open, sort of out of the corner of her eye there, she sort of, and sort of gets like her attention, and she like grabs a cup of wine. There was blood spilling all over. She like pours the wine across people there.
She's good. She's good.
Pours it on.
Yeah.
You open the door, up down the staircase, Peter follows you.
Yeah.
Sort of gets to the east, east side entrance of that you came in at EOD. Sort of get to the door there. So where am I going?
Bernard's. You're gonna hide in the hay, okay? The Tyruns will meet you there, and they will talk you through the next steps, but ideally you'll be out on the wagon with Macklin tomorrow morning.
If they don't give me what I need, you know you've killed me, right?
I do.
All right then. Goes out the door, and just as he's out the foot of the door, he turns back. I hope you find what you're looking for.
You too, Peter.
Into the thoroughfare, disappears in the crowd. You have the key in your possession. You're out in the thoroughfare. You close the door behind you.
Get the key. Skedaddle across the Maves.
A few moments later, as you're sitting by the bank there, Maeve's place, very dark, cold, deathly quiet without the churning of the water wheel that you're used to when you come here that broke in the storm. There's no noise coming from the inside to indicate that she might be kind of home, or, there's an absence of lanterns along the bank, keeps you in the shadows here.
Can I just I want to bang on the door.
Sure, as you kind of came by, you can...
Yeah. Maeve. Oh, come on.
No response.
Bitch, I need to talk to you.
Nothing from Maeve there? Go back to the bank. You're pleased to find that the ground here is very nice for digging. It's soft, it's pliable, the spray of the stream, a little bit of the water makes it not too rocky. There's some kind of locked cellar door back here that leads down to presumably some kind of basement of Maeve's. And you don't want to bury anything in a spot where maybe the upturned earth would immediately, she'd see it and make her suspicious. So a little closer to the water. The grass has come up to about shin height. It's not perfect, but assuming somebody doesn't leave it here for days on end, it should be easy enough to make a little hole here that someone would only find if they were kind of looking for it, because there's trees sort of grasses and reeds here along the bank that obscure it a little bit. And just as you're kind of bending down, sort of moving through the grass, kind of digging just to look for the perfect spot, you feel a hand on your shoulder, and Nani's there.
You ready?
I saw Peter come out. I suppose that's a good sign.
She bends down, digs a little hole there.
I scribble a note for Maeve.
Okay.
I'm gonna slip under her door.
Sure.
And then I've got some things like put in like this bag for them to find.
Okay.
So we'll have the key.
Sure.
300 gold. My last 2 aces. And the Joker card that I got from court. And on the Joker card, I write, I, Ace, say that Illien did not kill your man. It was a young girl who left town. Ace.
Sorry. You want the truth? It's the truth.
So they all saw me pick up that card, so they should know that it comes from me.
Okay.
And then, I also I translated the goblin
The messages, the things you found in the...
that we found.
Thank you.
So I leave that with them.
Okay.
And then a lovely little note, if I can read it,
Yes, please.
that says, flea bags. Daff has your gold. Take what's here and tell the butcher shop to fuck off. Thank you for all your help. I'm sorry about your friend. I got the sense that she had found something really special with your group. I'll send word if I find anything while gone. Ace.
You have the letter, sort of put it in the thing, and just as you're sort of covering it up with a little bit of dirt there, this blue stream of smoke sort of comes in front of your face, and you and Nani kind of look over.
There you fucking are.
Did you find my backyard to your liking?
Oh, fuck.
Yes, it's so lovely, Maeve.
You look at her, and she's carrying like a knapsack over her shoulder, and she's wearing boots that aren't her usual boots. She looks like she's been traveling, like out of town, like maybe in the downwind. Like her boots are a little muddy. She has like pants that are hiked up a little higher than her usual sort of half skirt that she wears, and she has like a sort of knapsack. You can't see what's in it, but it has like looks like she's been moving around. And she's like,
should I dig it up, or is for someone else?
No, don't touch it.
All right.
As for those flea bags, they'll be coming by, okay?
No, you're fine. Sorry.
They always do.
Seems like they've been visiting you a lot, so.
More than I'd like.
Listen, I was gonna leave you a little note under your door, but since you're gracing us with your presence, I need you to know that Bison's on his way out. But don't let Izzy fuck with you, okay? I hear she's pushing your buttons, and I don't like that. I told that sweet girl who left town I'd keep an eye out for you. But turns out I gotta go too.
Everybody coming and going,
There's a
except for old Maeve.
Maeve. Flea bags are dealing with magic. You be careful, okay?
I suppose it wouldn't shock you if I said, I know.
No, it really wouldn't.
I'll make sure they get your treasure trove.
Thanks, Maeve. You've always been the best.
Good luck, Ace. And she turns.
the two of you, Nani and Ace, head out. Pack those bags. You hand one off to Nani. She slings it over her shoulder. She has her bow that she picked up, slings that over the other shoulder. And you don't take detention pass itself to avoid any kind of undue foot traffic. You sort of move through the woods a little bit. You go a little out the sort of eastern end of town in an eastern direction. And as you do, the air has never felt so fresh. The breeze never kind of cradled your face so gently and fully. And as you're sort of moving along, you both
Tell me about the giants, Ace.
I'd love to. And I want to activate my giant's might. So I turn into like a 7-foot-tall woman. And I want to sweep her into my arms and give her a kiss.
As you give her a kiss, and disappear into the trees. Just a sort of large dwarven figure.
like a honeymoon.
Yeah, like a
carrying
shadow
her.
kind of
Yeah.
against the backdrop of the sky. That is where we're going to end tonight.
Oh my god!
Good roll. Persuasion. That was good. That was good.
Clutch.
Very well done, everyone. A delightful
Sweating.
episode full of twists and turns. And Kelley, we can't thank you enough. What an
Yes.
awesome turn as Ace here for us. On this
Thanks for the
adventure.
That's shark bait's gold.
Leaving the
That's
gold.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
to tell the butcher shop to fuck off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's fair.
That is where we're going to end. And we love Annabel. Was terrific. What a great Annabel. What a
my God,
blast.
I don't know what to make of it.
That was loving Annabelle.
Such a different energy than Morna.
Yeah.
Great.
I just felt like I trusted you immediately. Just gush.
For me?
And yeah, we'll pick up there. We got to talk to Mr. Gideon over at Paramount, see if we can't get Annabelle on the red team train here as we move forward. What a blast! A great episode, everybody. Chock full, action packed this episode. Yeah, join us next week as always.
Yeah, join us in the Discord. We can talk about this episode and vote for the roll badges. It's all good stuff.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good stuff.
Oh, I can't.
Oh.
Oh, I can't.
I'm buzzing.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Okay. Helmer gifted a sub, thank you, and then Gilly subscribed with Prime. Because
Thank you very much. Yes, free with Prime.
Very nice.
With Prime.
We have, I believe, not next episode, the one after is another Tabletop Talk.
Episode 36.
Great, yeah. So, chatting all.
Tabletop
What?
Talks.
Is it tabletop?
Oh,
Notch
it's
and
not that
Soda?
anymore. Not in Soda. Another throwback. You had the Mullifray
I know.
throwback.
No.
Tabletop Talk,
Wow.
season 1.
Peek beneath the veil.
I know there was a lot of people need to know questions
Yeah,
in Discord,
leaking
so
and,
maybe my brain is.
Peeking through.
Yes, not in Soda. So just for that, so much to discuss. Once again, thank you, Kelley. Such a delight.
Thank you guys. It's been a blast.
Thank
And
so much.
I believe that's it from us at Tabletop Notch. We'll see you next week for chapter 35. The adventure continues, everyone. We'll see you then.
We're gonna cut away, and you can watch Annabel being born. You can watch our rollies. That you can find
Oh, rolling
on-
video.
Is this gonna get messy?
It's a birth scene.
Yeah.
No,
A live
actually,
birth.
somebody commented on the
birth.
rollies saying that this is better than a gender reveal. So now I'm just like,
That was really fun, actually. That was a fun comment.
So we're gonna watch Annabelle be born.
Yes,
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.